Just tell me when you want me to
like
start.
this. Hit it.
The Roger Report live morning show, weekdays at 9 a.m.
Say y'all, I was on Roger's panel a few times and I couldn't take it. The heat. I got out the kitchen. It was hot. I was sweating. I had to get out.
He's Roger, and he's right.
Check this out.
We can live or die. You choose. I have spoken to you a lot of times in hatred and anger, and you have not heard me. Well, you had better hear me today. If you won't listen to me when I make an appeal for the Negroes because you have no concern for the Negroes, listen to me when I make an appeal for America. You claim you love America. Well, we love America. But you are driving us back and you are making a Samson out of us, and we are going to pull down the pillars. And then you think we have no right to ask for something? Is it too much to ask you to grant us human dignity? Should we be put down and shot to death for this request? If so, you can aim your guns. What the hell do you think we care about dying if you're going to deny us the right to live?
Good morning, folks, and welcome to another edition of the Roger Report Live, the best show on social media. If you are new to the channel, take a moment out to hit that like button because this is where you're going to find the best content on social media. And you're not going to have to worry about it because you're going to have me right here to make sure that happens. And if you've already been coming to the channel for a while, then go ahead and hit that like button because you already know what time it is. And you know that this is where you're going to get the best content on social media. It's not a mystery to you at this point. You've seen other people do it. You may have even seen someone do it well. But what you have not seen is anyone do it quite the way I do it. So make sure you hit that like button. And everyone, yes, everyone, take a moment out to share the content, y'all. There are so many people who need to get great content like this, and it's just a small thing you can do to help the world be a better place. And isn't that what we want at the end of the day? Don't we want the world to be a better place? Of course we do. So share the content now. Share it through your social media. Share it through word of mouth, or even text someone's phone. But do what you got to do to help spread the word. All right, y'all, today we are back with another great episode. We are going to be dealing with a very interesting topic, and it will be, can Black men and women even talk anymore? Yeah, and I think this is an important topic, but can Black men and women even talk anymore? That is our topic for today. Now, before we get into this, I want to say shout out to all the people who watch on a regular basis because y'all make up the fam around here, and I appreciate you big time. Shout out to all the people who leave comments after the stream because, you know, all those things help with the show. It helps pushes things out. It helps with the algorithm, you know, so I appreciate everyone who does that. Also, shout out to all the people who hype me up. I know you can't do it every single time, but shout out to everybody who hypes me up every chance they get. Now, you should do it every single time. You ask me. Always hype me up. But hey, you know, but what we always can do is everybody can make sure they hit that like button. Shout out to all y'all for hitting that like button. And remember, y'all, no matter when the stream happens, hype me up, hit that like button. Make comments, do what you got to do, just engage the channel so we can help with that algorithm and spread things around. And so shout out to y'all for that. And I'm going to say shout out to we're doing a very special show today. And it's sponsored by the one and only Inspired Truth Broadcast. This is his show. We're doing the things his way. he paid for this one, y'all. He paid for this one. So we doing his show his way. And y'all, I'm gonna take a back seat because I'm gonna turn things over to our esteemed guest in a moment. But before I do, I want to say shout out to all the people who are checking in right away. It's always great that when you start a show, you see a few people checking in. But if y'all know how it goes around here, there can only be one. And that one for the day, what we like to call around these parts, the Highlander of today's stream, my main man, Trail Bentley, has done it again. And he's representing as he always do. Hashtag long live the habitual line steppers. Hashtag Negroes in the wilderness. Hashtag dignity over vagina. Hashtag Al Gore's babies. Hashtag Hail Hydra. Shout out to you, brother. Shout out to you. We got the Great Black Reset in the building. Great to have you. Of course, the sponsor of the stream is here. Inspired Truth Broadcast is in the building. We got Floyd Thompson at the cool table. Yay, yay. Jerome Payne is in the house. Great to see you. Great to see you. We got the host, of course, the one and only Hot Sauce is in the building. We got the Bright Star here. Shout out to you. Shout out to you. Superstar Jay Quick, what's up? Glad to have you. We got Bronk in the house. Great to see you. Representing for the pit crew, the one and only J Dub is in the building. Glad to see you. Glad to see you. Shout out to the whole pit crew. That's Mr. Suge to you and Chef Mike's Roundtable. Also, Afro Merchant, what's good, my brother? What's good? Glad to have you. Listening is in the building. Great to see you. Great to see you. And we got Tunnel Runner in the house as well. Glad to have you as well, y'all. Now, we're doing a special show today. The Facilitator, the one, the only, the highly esteemed Emperor No Good is going to take over for facilitating for this particular show, y'all. Matter of fact, I don't even remember if I put the link in the description, but I'm about to make sure I get that done right now. But I'm going to say, if you want to join the panel, we're going to do it good and early, y'all, because he's going to start handling business. I'm going to be more participating in what the show is doing. So if you want to join the panel, I'm going to drop that link. As soon as I drop that link, come on up. And shout out to the Great Black Reset. Appreciate you, brother. Well, get me with the first super chat, get me off to the good start. But he's saying, oh, Lord, Roger letting the inmate run the asylum. Hey, man, say it how you want. Say it how you want. I can't argue with that when the man is literally coming up as Emperor No Good. He going to do what he want to do, y'all. He going to do what he want to do. So if this all go wrong, blame Emperor No Good, y'all. If it all go wrong, blame Emperor No Good. But I think we in good hands. So I'm going to give it to him and turn it over. You have the floor, my brother.
Okay, thank you very much, everyone. Thank you, Roger. So today, I'll be known as Emperor No Good to celebrate my good friend Emperor, who is who's serving his sentence. And so we think of Emperor, please think of No Good Nigga. Now, let's move on.
So, shout out to Emperor.
So, for those of you that want to hop on, Bronk, Great Reset, or anybody, while I'm reading the rules, this is a perfect time to come up. So the title of the show, Can Black Men and Women Even Talk Anymore? Brief introduction. Welcome to the conversation tonight, ladies and gentlemen. It's not about winning. It's not about scoring points. It's about understanding why conversations between Black men and women so often break down. This is not a debate, but this is a diagnosis. We are here to examine what makes communication fail, break down, fall apart, what makes people feel unheard, like Emperor Leon, and whatever Black men and Black women can still speak to each other clearly, honestly, and directly. So here are the rules. Unlike Emperor, no interruptions. No labeling, misogynist, dusty, or etc. Address the argument, not the person. Answer questions directly before expanding. Also, we will have a 3 minute, 4 minute response time, so everybody will be heard. I will be directing everybody like one by one, so that way everybody will be heard, everybody will get their chance to speak, and everybody will speak on the topic before we move on. Okay, we also have a super chat at the moment. Great reset. Thank you for the $1.99. King Petty. I wonder how much is that in Haitian dollars. That nigga needs money. So King Petty, thank you, Black Reset, for the comment and the dollars, but I think another nigga needs that for commissary. I don't know how much that is in Haitian dollars, but you sure appreciate it. Okay, so I guess Roger, since it's going to be you hosting the show, I'll pick your brain first.
Absolutely fine.
Okay, so question number one: people often say that men don't know how to communicate. What does a good conversation between Black men and Black women look like to you?
A good conversation. A good conversation. A good conversation to me is when both parties actually listen to what the other party is saying. Or as some people might say, people hear, but they don't listen. I mean, actually taking the information from the other person and then give a response based on the information that was given by person A. B should respond to person A with the subject matter of person A. That's what I truly believe is what a good conversation is made of. And I do think sometimes there's a huge difficulty getting that across between men and women.
Okay. All right. So, welcome, gentlemen. Reset and Inspired Truth. Thank you for the donation, and thank you for this great topic. Because this is your topic, I'm going to go to Inspired Truth first, then go back to Great Reset, and then go to I'm sorry, he's not allowed today. And then we'll continue the conversation from there.
Oh man, that was cold. I could feel it freezing me right now. That was so cold. All right. Peace to the brothers on the panel. Peace to the chat. So, and by the way, can y'all hear me? First off,
yes, you loud and clear.
All right, good.
Well, I can tell you who we can hear.
Not a double tap. Why the double tap? You had to make sure you got them, huh? All right. So, I think that we have to kind of establish what a good fruitful conversation is in the first place. I think men and women might have different definitions of that. A lot of times what we're looking for, a lot of times what I'm looking for is like actionable information, like useful, actionable information. And maybe what some of the ladies might want out of it is to feel good. And if we're going in two different directions and have two different definitions, we can't get there to a good conversation. So I think that that's what we want to kind of start with, but we have to kind of ask the ladies for that. Like, what is the goal that you want? And can we compromise on that? Can it be like half the time it makes you feel good, half the time it's actionable information? What if we end up with something where, hey, it makes you feel good, but by the way, this is going to give you some disastrous outcomes and effects. So, those are some of the things that I want to kind of interrogate today amongst actually being able to facilitate a conversation in the first place.
Okay, thank you for that. Black Reset, do you need me to repeat or are you ready to go?
No, I'm ready to go. I think a good conversation is understanding your audience when you're speaking, um, and like understanding the goal of the conversation. And I think men and women, we both have different roles and different goals in conversation. As men, we're naturally leaders, and sometimes we need to ask them, "Hey, do you want to be heard, or are you trying to get something done?" And usually, when I start the conversation off like that, it usually ends better than me just listening to them without understanding what it is that they really want. And I'm trying to understand how to listen to them because they speak through their emotions while we're speaking through logic. And I think if the women can understand that we're more logical and mechanical in our thought process, and we can understand that they're more emotional and manage their emotions for them, I think it makes for a better conversation.
So, a side note, and I'll start off with Roger. Should we be making excuses because quote unquote women are more emotional that they cannot communicate in the same way as a man? For example, when you're learning to write essays in college and high school, there's not two different rules to give a speech. There's not two different rules to write an essay. So should women get a pass? Roger, the floor is yours.
Honestly, I don't believe women should get a pass. I believe that women have a responsibility that they shirk on a regular basis when they're trying to communicate with the man, because a lot of them truly won't even tell the man the goal, because sometimes they really just trying to vent. It's not a conversation. They would treat it as if it's a conversation, as if you're actually supposed to respond and say certain things. But it is not a conversation. She's just coming to vent. She just want to be heard. But she doesn't tell the man she wants to be heard, so he'll know to listen. So I think that's her fault. If she didn't really want a guy to respond, she know how guys are going to operate. The average woman understands a man is going to be thinking from a problem solving point of view if he's told a problem. And to me, it's her responsibility to know that she is an adult. And if she won't communicate to him, and then it doesn't go the way she wants it to go, to me, it's absolutely her fault. And no, I wouldn't give her a pass. That's called being a bad communicator.
Okay. Reset.
No, I don't think they should be given a pass. I just think, like I said, as leaders, it would behoove us to understand what we're going into ahead of time, because because of their emotional state, they're just not going to do the right thing when it comes to conversation a lot of the times. That it's not giving them an excuse. I'm just saying, understand what you're dealing with, and I think that after you've heard them and after you've heard them for a while, you just kind of gently, if you get the opportunity, start guiding them in the right direction, man. Because most of the time, their mind is in chaos, and the things they're going to do afterward are going to be chaotic as well.
Okay. 1 second. Bruce Wayne says, Roger, read my message, but I don't see a message.
Yeah, I don't see the message. What's the message?
Yeah, what is the
He
message?
must don't have it up yet. I don't see the message. Yeah.
Okay. Inspired Truth. And Trust, please come up. The link is in the chat at the top. Inspired Truth, the floor is yours, sir.
All right, so I dropped my earpiece a little bit, so I missed a little tiny bit, but I think I got the gist of it.
I can
I
ask
do.
you, no problem if you need it.
Okay.
Okay, so in English class, in a speech class, the teacher does not give any separation between gender when we communicate, whether through writing or speech, etc. So, should women be given a pass because they speak more emotionally? Because they're
No,
emotional.
no, they shouldn't be given a pass. We should identify the goal, though, and we should make a distinction between what's a monologue and what's a dialogue. Like Roger said just now, like there's a difference between a monologue and an actual conversation. If we're doing a monologue, then I'm just there being an object, like kind of like a verbal, kind of like a verbal absorbent friction material, or like a punching bag. Not so much on that verbal um assault type thing, but more along the lines of absorbing the friction that you've had from the world. And that's a completely different thing from a conversation.
Okay, excellent. All right, let me move on to the next piece before. Okay, so I actually added something. I hope you don't mind. We're going to go to a true or false round, right?
Uh-oh.
And you can say true, false, and then give an explanation on why. All right? Women, true or false? Women love to move the goalposts. Roger.
I think that is absolutely true. Absolutely true.
Okay, great black reset.
Absolutely true.
Inspired true.
That's very true.
Okay, and you can explain why.
So
Anyone?
we can
I'm gonna
maybe
let you go. Go ahead, Inspire. Go ahead.
no, I'll let you go first.
I do believe a lot of the times the women are going to move the goalposts because number one, they want to win. Okay, they do want to win. What if it's anything where there's a win in it, she wants to make sure she secures the win. If it's not about securing a win, she wants to feel like she's hurt. So if you give her an answer that's too succinct, she must now move the goalpost so she can get different answers, and it's all sometimes it's very much a part of her just simply receiving attention. She wants attention, but she's not going to come to you and tell you, "I want you to give me attention." She's just going to do something with that'll automatically have attention bestowed upon her. So if you move the goalpost, you can keep the attention on yourself. I think those are some of the main reasons that they do that.
Okay, Inspired Truth.
All right, so there's definitely the need to be right, and then we live in kind of a world where we're kind of socializing the women to believe that they're always right. So they have to kind of make that reality, that perception of reality, actually something that happens, something that occurs. You're told that you're right, so then now I have to make myself right so that I'm not like disjunct from my worldview of reality. So they're doing that, but then there's also the emotional engagement piece. Like women will try to keep the ball rolling on the emotional engagement because otherwise life is boring. So so they'll kind of like keep pushing this goalpost movement thing because it gives them a feeling and you want to feel the feeling.
Okay, and great Black Reset.
Hey, 3 for 3 on the need to be right. They want to be right. It doesn't mean that they want the truth. They just want to win, and they have a second goal that they're not even aware of until it becomes the only option, and it's mutually assured destruction. If they can't be right, they're going to ensure that there's mutual destruction in this conversation, and they're going to go nuclear.
Okay, all right, gentlemen, ladies and gentlemen, we're at the 22-minute mark. And so now we have more people on the panel. So I'm just going to restate kind of the order, what's going on. My name is Emperor No Good, in honor of my very good friend. And ladies and gentlemen, I hope you guys are writing this down because we're giving you excellent gems on communication. I know my good friend needs it, so I'm pretty sure that you have people in your life that need it as well. So here's going to be the order because I'm going to do something that my good friend is not, be a gentleman, and I'm going to let the ladies go first, then Rod as the host and Inspired Truth, then Great Reset, and then the young niggas can get in after that. You got to do.
Bruh, don't let this man host the show no more, bro.
Whoa. Disrespect. Disrespect is not allowed. My voice is law in this bitch.
So, then what about the disrespect to me then? Because you got to say the whole thing, though.
Usual, we ain't doing that today. Wrap it up. We ain't doing that. If I don't call you, no, we ain't doing that. Thank you, sir. Thank you for your cooperation. Toya, how are you today? I hope you're doing well.
I'm doing well. Thank you so much for asking. I am busy at work, so I may not be able to listen and reply right on command, but for now, I'm good.
Okay. Just let us know when you can, and we'll go with that. No problem.
Thank you.
Got to get to work because you got to keep away from these no good niggas out here. So, I'm gonna go get to the next question. So, so for Toya, what frustrates you the most when communicating with men, and for the gentleman, what frustrates you the most when communicating with women? So Toya, the floor is yours.
Honestly, what frustrates me the most when communicating with men is probably the case of fitting the description. What I mean by that is, I think sometimes men have a preconceived notion of what they'll get. And so that's frustrating for me because it means that we can't start on a clean slate. Um, and, I think if you have a conversation with me and give me a chance, maybe I could dispel some of the experiences that you may have had with other women who look like me. But because I look like those women, I often get charged with the same um, errors or bad disposition. So that's frustrating for me. That would probably be the most frustrating thing that happens when I communicate with other men.
Okay, all right. Roger, you can either answer the comment or you're free to respond to Toya's remarks.
I'll say to respond to her. I would say I understand that. As a man, the last thing I'm trying to do is battle with somebody else's preconception of what I'm supposed to be instead of dealing with what I just put in front of you. If you're viewing me as a man, deal with what's in front of you. I don't really want to hear your stories about all these other dudes that did X, Y, and Z in the past because I really don't care. So to me, that's extremely frustrating. So I actually understand that, and I'm a person that would avoid doing that to any particular woman. So I'm with 100% on that.
Okay, Inspired Truth.
I totally sympathize with what Toya is experiencing there. We deal with the similar thing over here as Black men. A lot of this stuff is like not even based off of actual experiences. It's based off of like perception and image narratives in the media. Even sometimes out there with dating, it'll be kind of like influenced by the friend group. You'll have a pro-Black woman that has a best friend that's like an aspiring divester. So she'll be talking about like all of these like negative tropes of Black men, like, oh, hey, deadbeat dad trope and stuff. And you're like, well, wait a minute. Like, why are you listening to her when she's divested from the community? She's not even in your group in the first place. But now that shapes your perception of Black men.
Okay, Black Reset.
Two quick things. One, when women have this, I'm gonna defend all women no matter what. Like in the case of our most recently famed failed investor, they're just gonna defend it no matter what. Like Rhoda, the brick lady, they're gonna defend her no matter what. And two, they don't they don't think we're intelligent enough to see what they're doing. Like they talk to us like, "Oh, you didn't see me hide that rock I just threw." Like it's insanity, and I'm not saying it's all women, but it's a lot. Like they really do talk to us like we're not intelligent or we don't understand what they're doing and what they're saying and what their goals are sometimes.
Okay, Unusual. Unusual Zulu, are you there? Going once, going twice. Okay, Bronx, the floor is yours.
Yeah, I just think there is a need to be a bit more realistic about the purpose of bringing an issue to us in the first place, right? I think oftentimes women have a tendency to have us try to sit with how they feel when, as men, we just aren't really wired that way. We can hear how you feel, and if we love you, of course, we're going to be sensitive to how you feel, but we want to move forward and actually get to a solution after we've received the information. So,
Roger, you have another super chat?
Okay. Shout out to Bruce on Wang. He says, read my last message, Roger. And I appreciate you because I actually see a message this time. Okay. So shout out to you. He says, walking through these shots, excuse me, walking through these shots from those little weapons like Big Center. But I'm in jail though. Let me out. Hey, brother. Hey, brother. I do want to, I want you to know I feel for you, brother. I do feel for you. Because, you in there to the 26. 26, it ain't that far away. It ain't that far away. But I do feel for you because taking shots when you can't represent yourself is rough. That's all I'm going to say because I heard a couple little shots too. But life's unfair sometimes, unfortunately. Life is unfair. I do not have a solution for this at this point. But I do feel your pain. I just want to say I do feel your pain.
Toya, are you still there? Okay,
Yes,
I guess. Okay, yeah. Would you agree that real niggas is a dying breed out here?
absolutely.
Okay, cool.
Ooh,
So,
ooh.
our next question. How do you feel when someone doesn't answer your question but changes the subject?
Well, it depends on the question I ask. If I ask a nonsensical question, I can understand the changing of a subject. And to whoever that was speaking, I think it was inspired before about how women like to harp on our feelings instead of dealing with facts and being direct. I completely appreciate that feedback, and it's why I'm pretty much a lot more intentional about how I have conversations with men, whether we are romantically linked or not. Um, so it's important to just be direct, ask a question that deserves an answer rather than a nonsensical one.
Okay. Roger, the floor is yours.
Could you repeat the question for me, please?
Sure. Which one? Real niggas dying out here, dying breed, or do you?
I caught the real niggas. I caught that one.
Okay,
For
okay.
purposes of the show, I guess I'll say yes. For purposes of the show, what was the other question?
How do you feel when someone doesn't answer you and changes the topic?
Honestly, I try to keep my feelings in check because to me, I don't really deal with the feeling. It's giving me a level of awareness of how slow this person wants to comport themselves to me, or how they want to come off to me, if that's the more proper way to say it. This person is acting slow toward me. Now, depending upon what the situation is, I'm gonna try to figure out why they're acting slow toward me. Because if I ask you a question and you answer something other than the question I asked you, you either actually think I'm slow, or which is hard for me to really come to any other conclusion, or that you are extremely slow that you don't even know that you think that I'm slow, or that's what you're giving to me. Because I'm thinking you're an adult, you're asking me. I ask you a question, you give me you give me a response, which is not an answer. You think I'm so slow, I don't even know that you didn't answer my question. So to me, you're insulting me. So I'm gonna try to. I probably try to regroup and ask the same thing again, and just ignore the fact that you just said something so stupid to me. That's what I try to do for the most part, because I understand you're insulting me at this point. Because if you really think I don't know that you responded and didn't actually answer my question, you're calling me an idiot, and I don't appreciate that. So I try to leave the feeling part alone on that. I'll just ask you the question again.
Okay, Great Black Reset.
I'm gonna have to second Roger on that. I do think it's disrespectful. I think it's a play on a person's intelligence, and it's telling me you think you're more intelligent than me, and so much so that you don't think I recognize what it is that you're doing. So I do take that kind of stuff personally. As far as real niggas out here, yeah, man, you got to stop crying in the shower in the jail, man. You got to stop that.
Uh, uh, Inspired Truth. Yeah, I asked Inspired Truth already. Yeah, did I ask Inspired Truth?
Nah.
No.
Okay, I apologize. The floor is yours.
All right. So yeah, when that occurs, when I don't get an answer, I feel disrespected, but also it's that they're pretending with me. They're pretending that they want to have a conversation when clearly, based off of their actions by not answering the question, they do not. They don't want to have a conversation, or at the very least, they don't want to have a conversation about the topic that I'm talking about. On the other note, I do kind of think that there's a lack of real people in general, like not just like whatever you want to call like real dudes or whatever, but like real people, because the whole push to society is to like some artificial thing in general. Like physically we see artificial stuff, like artificial bodies, artificial faces, filters on everything, like, and then guys are filtering themselves like verbally, like a whole big push is being made to things that are unreal. And I think I heard from Toya, like we assumed that maybe a a good conversation on the women's end is just feeling good, but it sounds like she's saying that she's come across a an idea where maybe it's better to go with a actionable information standpoint instead. So I guess maybe we didn't get the answer from the women's side on what a good conversation is or the
Yeah, I
goal
guess.
of it.
Yeah, well, she had to step away. So when or if or when she comes back, I'll we can come back to that. So let's just put a pin in that. Zulu, are you there? Unusual business, are you there?
I'm here, but we gotta say the whole thing, bro. It's big booty Ugandans for everybody, bro. Like
Yeah, I'm not calling another
Everybody.
man. I'm
for
not saying
everybody,
big
bro.
booty to.
For everybody,
I'm not
man.
saying big
But
booty to another man. That's insane. That's insane.
I But actually, for me personally, I think that really actually irks my nerves more than anything, to the highest level, because I really look at that as you, as the people say in this era, you playing in my face, and I have a real intense feud with people playing in my face. Like you can
Oh,
tell
we
me
know. We
either
know.
Well, no, Brock, please, no, please do not interrupt this man, please, thank you.
Because for me personally, right, I'm more fact based when it comes to anything, right? You can either tell me yay or nay, right? I don't agree, that's cool, right? But when I ask you a question, what is 1 + 1, and you tell me purple, but I'm telling you, don't eat nothing around me because I'm about to poison you, bro. I'm just about to poison you. But that's just what I'm gonna say on that subject right there.
Wow, that's really extreme. Brock, your turn.
Yeah. It irks me too, man. I'm a very practical, very direct person, and I'm also very fair. So if I'm, being, if an issue is being brought to me, and or I'm bringing an issue to you, and you do what they call in logical fallacies, uh, there's a red herring there, where you're just kind of shifting the conversation to something else. I'll only really move the conversation back to the original topic, really no more than twice before I'm just done with the conversation. So
Okay.
that's my
All right.
perspective.
All right. Now we're going to get into a little bit of the nitty gritty because
One second,
I'm.
one second.
Oh, sorry. Yes.
Shout out to Bruce on Wayne. He say read. I'm gonna say message Roger. Okay. The
Yes.
next one I saw, it says women are like. I guess he meant hot sauce. I guess he meant hot sauce. Women are
Yeah.
like hot sauce. You just need a little bit from time to time. But I love though.
Yeah.
Or maybe
I'm
he
pretty
meant
sure.
much love though. Maybe he meant much love. Yeah, he
Yeah.
probably meant much love.
Yeah. Well, I mean, he's getting a lot of love in prison, I bet. So, yeah. So, Toy, Inspired Truth, forgive me a little bit, but I gotta spice it up a little bit. So, Toya, this question is from one of our viewers. Why do women go sexual in an argument?
Ooh.
Just 1 second.
Sure. I would ask women adjacent Emperor, but he's not here, so.
Oh, shots.
Cold blooded.
Shots to the
So,
chat.
But it's gonna be the 26 gonna be funny, bro.
wait. That wasn't an invitation. That wasn't an invitation to speak. Because this is Roger Report, I'm going to recognize the rules that have been set before. So again, because we're all gentlemen here, ladies will be first. Then it will be Roger's panel. I mean, Roger will go first because this is his channel. Then it will be Inspired Truth because he has paid for this, and then it will be Black Uru because he has privilege, and then reset. And then we'll go in order of people that appeared. Okay, so Atoya, the floor is yours.
Okay, sorry about that. I'm trying to multi and triple task over here. Um,
It's,
I think that it's because it's the one quote unquote bargaining chip that we are told that we have. And so instead of doing the work to course correct, we'd rather lean on something that we, and I'm using air quotes here, know that you want.
I don't really understand that. Can you kind of be a little bit more
Sure,
explicit?
sure. So your your question was, why do we rely on sex in an
No, no, no,
argument?
no. In the argument, why do you make why does it go sexual? Like insulting his manhood or some
Oh,
calling
oh,
him
okay.
gay and all that.
I see what you're saying. My bad. I misunderstood.
I'm
So
sorry, I mean the dysfunctional side. Sorry.
because by attacking your manhood, we think we'll elicit a response from you that will essentially give us control. And so rather than seeing it as an opportunity to hear whatever is being said and address that, we'd rather deflect it to something that, frankly, we both know isn't true because before this moment wasn't being brought up or hasn't been complained about. So, I mean, it just really does point toward a lack of maturity on our part with reference to how to navigate conflict.
Okay. And part B to that, do women enjoy when niggas start crashing out?
It depends on the woman.
Um,
I speaking
not
for
you, not
myself,
you,
no.
not you. Let's talk about the women in Jersey, right? Let's talk about the average woman in Jersey. Your the friends you know, or the not your friends, but
Yeah.
your friends' friends. How about that?
Yeah, I would say yes in large part because a lot of people think that crash out means you care. And so, unfortunately, having that type of response or rapport with someone translates to care, and that translates to attention, which is really all we
Brock,
want.
please mute. You have
I
feedback. Please
hot
mute.
sauce. I was gonna say, can I ask a specific question to that same question?
Yeah, yeah. When is your turn? Yeah, when
Okay,
is your turn?
so
When it's your turn, sir. Okay. Okay. Sorry, Trey. Please continue.
No, it's just that I think, um, it just again depends on the level of maturity, but because that often translates to attention, then y- yes, we do like the crash out because it means you care, which then turns into attention. As long as we have you on the hook to get that sort of a response from you, then we can quote unquote rest on our laurels. We can feel important. We can feel like we have some sense or semblance of control.
Okay. Roger, your thoughts, your feedback, or do you want to answer the question or respond? The floor is yours, sir.
Say the question one more time for me, please.
Why do women go sexual in a toxic argument, and why do women love to see a nigga crash out?
Um, I honestly believe they go sexual because to them that's where their leverage is. They do understand men don't have vaginas, but men want vagina, so they feel that's where their leverage is. So, going sexual is for a lot of women the only way they've ever had any training on how to control the man. A lot of women aren't raised or haven't taken classes, haven't had any kind of um, any kind of demonstration on how to deal with men where you can get things you want without sex being a part of it, and because they know men have egos, and if you say something to them that insults them from a sexual standpoint, most of them are going to truly hate that. So I think it's because they basically don't really have any weapons. It's like the only weapon they got. So if that's the only weapon I got, it's the only weapon I'm gonna use. Why do they like to see men crash out? Partly is because of their white supremacists at the end of the day, and they believe if they can get the man to crash out, they have dominated him. So I believe that's why they want to see it, because regardless of how the situation happens, they do want to dominate the man. And if I can get him to crash out, I won. I believe
Okay.
that's their true spirit behind it.
Okay. Inspired truth, and then Black Guru, you're coming right up.
I think that these sexual ad hominem attacks are really all about power. Like And on top of that, like in the culture that we have in our community, we tie a lot of our value and self-worth in access to a woman's, peace sleeve. I mean, box. I mean, we do. Like, it's disappointing, it's upsetting, but we really do put a whole lot of our value and self-worth in our access to women's stuff like that. And so when they come at you from that angle, it attacks the ego and sense of self-worth in a major way. And that's the power dynamic. And they're utilizing the power dynamic. In terms of making a man crash out or seeing a man crash out and why that's so alluring, I think once again that comes down to power. It's like, hey, look at what I'm able to puppet master and puppeteer. This is fun. I'm playing with this toy. This toy is exciting me. This toy is doing all these different things, and I'm getting power drunk off of playing with this toy. So yeah, both of these things just come back down to power and the power dynamic.
Okay, Black Guru, the floor is yours, sir.
Yeah, thanks for having me on the panel. With respect to the issue of sex, I mean, I think, Inspired Truth kind of caught what I would emphasize, and that is we as Black men in particular place a great deal of our esteem on our sexual performance or the value or perceived value of our sexual performance. So if she can convince you to think lesser of such, then she thinks she can gain an emotional and psychological advantage over you. Also, certainly, if if that is something that's exchanged amongst other people, then it's a great way to humiliate you amongst people that you may value. You're at a party or whatever, and going back and forth, and there's an argument. And she says your dick is little, and everybody else is looking and hearing while that's being said. You're publicly humiliated forever, right? Now, with respect to crashing out, and it's a similar kind of thing. I agree with what's been said thus far. I would add that crashing out is a great way to get your ass legally and financially caught up. You crash out in the wrong way or in the wrong circumstances, your ass is in jail somewhere or is being fined and financially penalized in somewhere. So in addition to what's been conveyed earlier, the crash out is a great way to legally and financially ruin a Black man. And that's all I have to offer.
Okay, thank you for the wonderful insight. And I'm going to swing around after Bronk asks his question. So great reset. The floor is yours. And then right after that, Bronk, you're there. I hope you kept your question.
Okay, mic check. Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Okay. To answer the first question, well, reiterate the question so I make sure I answer it correctly.
So why do women, when you're having a toxic argument, go sexual insults, right? And then why do women want men to crash out?
Well, the sexual insult, I believe, is they innately understand they can't defeat us physically under any circumstances. They know they can't defeat us physically, so all they have is words. And the sexual thing is a nuclear option. It's to get the worst kind of reaction out of you possible, and they're letting you know that they're defeated in the conversation. And the crash out is to get you compromised. They can control you better with use of law enforcement and other means. If you crash out, now you're compromised, and it puts them in a better position.
Okay, very good. And okay, Brock, the floor is yours.
All right. I answered that question kind of very basic to myself. Why do they resort to sexual insults in a heated argument? And I keep it basic, just because they're childish and immature. And if I want to go deeper, I'm sure I could pull out a lot of reasons why they're so childish and immature. But that's the most basic way to answer that question for me. And then on the topic of why do they like to see men crash out, I wanted to ask a question to Toya based off something that she said. When
Go
Hot
ahead.
Toss asked you specifically about your friend group, I know these conversations probably come up when they have dealt with men um, who have crashed out. What is their reaction to their crash out like, or what's their attitude towards it? Can you kind of give us a description of how
Well,
they
I think
receive their crash out?
you have to consider each situation separately. There's not a general response. Um, some people would respond in fear, some will respond in humor. It really just depends on the dynamic of each relationship in which that occurs.
I got so you can't
So
really generally kind of say between your friend group when they have experienced those type of crash outs and talked about those type of crash outs with you and your other
no,
friends.
because
You know,
I'll be honest with you, I'm probably the worst person to have conversation with
got you.
about
Okay.
that with,
All right.
because
All right.
I'm gonna always come at it from a solution orientation rather than a let's join in on the fun kind of thing.
Yeah, I asked that because I was curious to kind of get a little insight into see if it's more of a humorous response for them or more of an actual fearful response because it says a lot.
Yeah, I think if you're dealing with women who act their shoe size and not their age, then yes.
Okay, great. So here is another question. I'm gonna deviate off the path just a tiny bit. So, true or false? Hold on. Let me put you this way. When women are talking, are they intentionally lying, or do they really see it as how they feel? Toya, the floor is yours. Hello, Toya, are you there? Or you can't answer? Can everybody else hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Yep.
She just
Yep.
probably
Yeah.
jumped back into work.
Okay, so then Roger, we'll go with you.
All right, repeat it
Are
one more time for me.
yeah, no problem. Do women because like, oh, that's how I feel. Okay, so when a woman says that's how I feel though, is she saying that to hide that she's lying and she knows she's lying, or does she really believe that?
I believe she knows she's lying. I do believe that. And I do believe she offers that because she knows she's lying and she kind of knows she got caught. And she wants it to be about her feelings at that moment on so she can justify her lying or simply move you from where you are in the first place so she can still get whatever advantage she's looking for. So I personally do not believe women don't know that they're lying. It's their lying is basically their love language, just about.
Okay, I'm gonna put a pin on that. Black Guru. I'm sorry, no. Inspired Truth, then Black Guru.
The whole lying versus feeling is a really deep
Inspired
thing
Truth.
because, yeah, can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We hear inspired truth. Can you hear inspired truth?
I can hear you, but I cannot hear Inspired Truth.
Oh, shoot. Yeah, I'm
Not
talking.
can, not can hear you. Not can hear you.
Okay. All right. So the whole lying versus feeling thing gets really deep because the way that women perceive reality is often viewed through their feelings. Like, so the way that they see the world will shift from one day to another based off of just how they feel. Like, so if they're being honest about like, oh, this is how I feel, then yeah, that's really where she is right now on her view of reality at this given moment. That can change in 2 minutes. That could change the next day. That could change anytime. Um, but sometimes they are actively lying and know that they are lying so that they can present themselves as right. Like, so they will lie to win an argument, whatever winning looks like.
Okay. Black Guru, the floor is yours.
I don't know if I can offer much more than what Inspired just said. I think a lot of the line is emotional and situational, and a lot of it isn't they aren't even necessarily aware they're lying because of the potential changes of emotions and you know metabolic activity and menstrual cycling and all of that. I don't think it's always as willful and deliberate as we think it is, because we are more logical to them than they are generally, or that's generally our initial point of focus. So we initially perceive it as willful intent to deceive, but I don't believe that is always the case with them. I think you have to look at what is being lied about and in the situation to determine whether it's willful deception or it's that time of the month, frankly.
Okay. Reset. Floor is yours, sir.
I think they know that they're lying. The emotional, everything being about emotions and everything being about my truth and all this other foolishness is to move you away from the actual truth of any given situation.
I agree.
That's what this is all about. This is why I've been preaching that any lexicon that comes from women, we need to get rid of it. It's
I
all
agree.
foolishness. It's all chaos. It's all for the point of confusion that they can gain control of any given situation at any given time. We should not ever follow any ideology that comes from them as a collective.
Okay.
Gotta agree with that.
Before Toya's back, so I'm gonna go to Toya, and then I'll circle back around to Bronk and Truth Teller. Toya, the floor is yours. Do I need to ask the question again? Or are
Please.
you okay? Sure. So, question is this, right? Are women always intentionally lying, or they believe they're what they're saying based because that's how they feel at that moment?
Ooh, that's a good one. I think that more often than not, we are intentionally lying. I would place more weight on the intentional lie versus the feeling thing, because while sometimes it is coming from a place of feelings, and so it's not an intentional lie, it's more of how many layers do you have to dig through before you get to the actual truth, right? Because the feelings are usually layered on top of what the actual issue is. Um, and so many of us are conditioned to, it's just as simple as when someone asks you how you're doing and you off the cuff always say, I'm good, I'm fine, when maybe you really aren't. Similar to that. So the intentional lie is probably just to quote unquote keep the peace, or um, keep everything flat rather than actually explode into whatever you're feeling. And again, it just depends on the question. But I would go with there is the intentional lie probably 80% of the time.
And do women? Just a side note before I move on.
Hmm.
Uh, do women even give it a second thought when they lie, or it just comes out like water?
I think it comes out like water. I think you knew that
Okay.
though.
Oh, okay. Okay, Brock. The floor is yours, sir.
Okay. I believe, and thank you again for that response, because I agree with a lot of what you said. I think there's the unintentional lie, right? There is the woman's perception, and again, a woman is particularly going to perceive more from her feelings than what a man is. A man's going to perceive things from logic, right? Because a woman operates like that in her mind, she could say something that's not true without being aware of the falsity of what she's presenting. Okay. Um, and it might come from a place of fear of vulnerability, right? I believe that every man who loves a woman, he's at least done his due diligence to study that woman and know that woman deeply. So if you went through that process with your woman as a man, you're likely going to know when it's the unintentional lie, when it's just the fact that she hasn't reached a level of vulnerability to be able to say it because she's afraid, to be able to say what it really is. because she's afraid, right? And I think I think it's a catch-22 because it's still a lie, right? It's still not the total truth being presented. But again, I think if you know your woman, then you'll know the difference between that unintentional lie and that intentional lie. And it's really the intentional lie that we need to be concerned about. I don't think the unintentional lie is something that you really need to be concerned about. If you are mature enough as a man and skilled enough as a man, you can actually get your woman to see her own unintentional lies, and you all can talk through those and get to a good place.
Okay, truth teller. The floor is yours. Do I need to repeat, or are you ready to
Yeah,
go?
please repeat. Please
Okay,
repeat.
so women, do they intentionally lie, or is it about what they really believe at the moment because of their feelings, even though in reality it's still a lie?
I'm gonna go about this a little differently. They have no intention to tell the truth, and it's that basic. So their entire intention is to not only the emotion, but so their entire intention is to gain the upper hand in any conversation, which is why when you have a conversation with a woman, and let's say you're talking about something that's general, societal, social, something that's broad about multiple people, about culture, about whatever, and they always bring it back to themselves. And then if you say something that might make them look bad, they get angry at you and the conversation goes haywire. Now, what happens is they say things that aren't true, even though they know it's not true. They feel like it makes them look good, so therefore they're going to say it. So the intention to tell the truth doesn't exist in their mind. The intention to make themselves feel good is always the purpose of every discussion, even if it's not about them. So what that means is they perpetually lie and they don't know it, or they don't care. Sorry, better, they don't care to know it, which means you can't trust anything they say, even if it is the truth, because 2 seconds after they say it, they'll say a lie. So they have no interest in there's no focus on telling the truth on any level. It's just whatever my emotional gain is from what I'm saying.
Truth teller, man, I gotta say, man, you always bring it raw, man. No Vaseline. It's just raw and uncut.
None at all.
I gotta give you credit. The only person I know that knows how that feels is Emperor Desleon. But anyway, we're gonna move forward. Now, this time I'm gonna do a Uno reverse. I'm gonna ask the gentleman the question first, and then I'm gonna ask the lady afterwards. So today's topic is, can black men and women even talk anymore? So it's about communication. But there's also a such thing as physical communication. So, can thunder banging, in some cases, replace communication? Because on a physical level, dicks and pussies do communicate with each other. So I'm going to start with Roger.
Okay. Before I answer, let me. I got a couple super chats just came in.
Okay, sure.
All right. Shout out to Jerome Payne. He said, "I save time by shopping online and keeping conversations with the women I'm not in a relationship with, short or non-existent. Guard your mental health, black men." I think that's pretty good advice, y'all. I think that's good advice. All right. And also, shout out to Bruce Owen Wayne again. He says women lie about loving hot sauce all the time. I guess he's fighting back. He's fighting back. I would say salute to you, brother. I would say salute to you. He ain't gonna take a land back.
I would like to thank you guys for the super chat. And I'm pretty sure your cellmate is loving you right now. Roger, the floor is yours.
Okay, now read it one more time for me, please. And I'm sorry, I'll just be asking you to read it one more time to make sure I do a good job
so
on the
today
air.
we're talking about communication and black women and men communicating. Can Thunder banging with the hammer of Thor replace communication? Because as you know, Cox and Coochie communicate, right?
Absolutely.
Sometimes, that shit be calling my name. So the floor is yours.
I'm gonna say yes. I do believe that that's a yes that people wouldn't necessarily want to admit to, because a lot of times the woman won't really have a problem. She just kind of wants some attention, and if you just go and put it on her, she's getting her attention and she's getting her fix anyway. Because women need they got to get their scratches itch too. They don't present it to me in that way, but I do think if you're doing that, yeah, there's less to talk about for a lot of women. There's gonna be a whole lot less to talk about. So I think guys kind of well, we want it because we want it, but I don't think they see it as a way to get her what she wants. Most of the time, because if you are doing it, what's she gonna argue about? You know. So I do think it's a very, very effective form of communication that a lot of people will not, and I doubt, I don't know, I doubt psychologists would even admit to the fact that it is a great form of communication. And and when y'all think about it, when women are talking to y'all about nonsense, why are we doing that? Just take it to the bedroom. I bet you don't really have no questions after that.
Okay. Inspired Truth, the floor is yours. Pounding her like a porn star is effective communication.
I think that there's verbal communication and there's nonverbal communication, and a lot of this.
I'm sorry, Inspired Truth. Let me repeat because I think you didn't hear me.
No, I got you.
Pounding her
I get
like a
it.
porn star is effective communication.
Yes, it is. But
Okay, thank you.
here's the thing. Like, so I guess maybe like the verbal communication stuff kind of might come down to like maybe 10% of what you need, maybe 20% at max. But this part is a big part. And even if you're putting it down like right, like her history does matter. Like the level of what you have to deal with will be reflected in that history. So you got to kind of like watch the facts, the resume. That's where that comes into play. So yeah, it matters. It definitely matters a lot.
Okay. Black Guru, as the elder statesman, you know about these young Thundercats out here, and after Inspired Truth, then dried up the platform. Break it down for us, sir.
Yeah, interesting question. I was recently watching a famed black uh, male porn star, describe, I'm sure some of you have seen this video as well, describe how for years he took care of a child, only to later discover the child was not his. And he only discovered the child was not his because during some estate planning, his attorney or accountant, whatever, recommended a DNA confirmation of paternity, and that was revealed. So this is a porn star, a guy who presumably has legendary capacity to please a woman, and even he was betrayed. I think whether sex can really be leveraged against a woman is going to also be a function of the overall quality of that relationship. If you have a good relationship with that woman, then sex puts you in God mode over that one. But if you don't have a great relationship with that woman, sex can actually, ironically, to some degree, become a source of her resentment of you. Because sex is very much like a drug. It's the kind of thing that creates such highs and lows that if everything else is not good, then after that high of knocking her down is going to be a crashing down to a low emotionally and mentally. So I think while temporarily knocking her down might be great, if things are not great overall, great and true overall in that relationship, then it'll only be temporary, and actually it could at some point become a source of resentment and even betrayal.
Wow. Okay. Black Reset, the floor is yours. Do I need to repeat? Okay, you dropped down. Okay, Brock, it's the floor is yours, sir.
Okay, so the answer to your question is yes. I believe that sex wields a lot of power in a relationship, but to Uru's point, that power is a double-edged sword, so it could be for your benefit or your detriment. Um, but before I go on to my statement, I want to ask inspirational truth. Did I just
No,
hear
whoa, whoa,
you
whoa,
say?
I'm the one answering questions today.
Well,
Why?
can you ask this? I want to respond to something he said in response to this question. So you
Sure,
ask me.
you can, please respond. You can respond, yes. But don't, you know what I
Okay.
mean? Don't come into my territory, goddammit.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay, Tabasco. Okay, Tabasco. All right. Did I hear you say that we essentially need to run a sexual equifax on the women to truly have a full understanding of our sexual, I guess, power in that relationship?
Yeah, you kind of need to know what to hit, where she's coming from. Like
Yeah.
one way or another, you need that information.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. I thought I heard you right. So yeah, and I agree with that as well. Um, Depending on the woman you have in her sexual history, um, whether or not you do even have sexual power in that relationship, it's going to depend a lot on that.
Is he still
So in
talking? I
that kind
can't
of
hear him.
situation, in that kind of situation, no,
He's talking.
Okay.
I don't believe that sex is going to do you much just in getting things right. If you have a woman with a very dark um, sexual history.
All right.
Now he's
Uh,
done talking, but I do see a super chat.
okay, super chat. All right.
Uh, Shout out to Platform. He says, "What up, fellas? Good goddamn job. Hey, appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. We trying. We trying." All right, go ahead.
Lisa, I believe you got dropped down, so I'm going to go to you. Then I'm going to go. Oh no, I'm sorry. No, it's Black Root's turn anyway. No, it's not. It's great. It's reset. I'm going to go to reset, truth teller, and then Toya. We would love to hear your insight. So reset, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. I apologize. I tried to unmute myself and knock myself off. But I think the sexual history of a woman in this particular question really does matter. If you got a woman that used to be the equivalent of a streetwalker, you ain't got no control. You just in action. She's controlling you. But if you got a woman that kept herself chaste until she met you, it's gonna have a great effect in quote unquote conversation with her, or whatever, right? And then you can kind of balance it out in between and all the other kind of stuff. So the sexual history of that woman matters. The dynamic that you have between one another matters. I think sex is an expression of how you feel about one another. Shoot, in my household, we're not even allowed to have heated conversations unless we naked. So guess what? When we have conversations, it usually don't get heated unless she really wants it to be heated. So she's telling me what she wants. Knocks out
Wow.
the confusion.
Okay, we have another super chat, and oh my god, I'm not reading that. I'm not reading
Y'all,
that.
you read it if you want.
You got to read it. That's the rules.
I'm
That's the
good.
rules. You got to read it, man. You the host.
I'm good on that. I don't know. It goes
Host
against
got
my
to read the
principles.
super chat.
You
No,
know,
but
I
for
like
those
I like
behavior,
where Brock is going. I like where I like where Brock is going, but I read it. And shout out to Bruce on Wayne. He says, "My favorite one. I love hot sauce on my hot dog." uh,
wow.
So,
Pause. Pause. Pause.
so,
Well,
so,
like,
I guess that
so,
depends on how you take it.
well, hey man, I'm gonna say, I
Oh,
appreciate I appreciate the flatter. I appreciate and I'm flattered, but I'm not. I'm a heterosexual. I'm a heterosexual. I don't. But thank you for the compliment. Thank you for the compliment.
And shout out to one infinite observer for the super sticker. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you.
Well, I mean, at least you know. Well, and you know what? You know what, bro? Thank you for trusting us for coming out. We support you. We support you. Okay, a truth teller, and then we'll have truth teller. Then we have Toya.
So, in regards to this, I think we misunderstand. I think we misunderstand what sex is for. It's only to communicate about reproduction. That's it. It's not to convey. It's not even built to convey feelings. To tell you the truth, we just add feelings to it, which is why men can have sex with anyone that they're physically attracted to, but don't have emotional feelings for. So no, it is not a form of communication that we can use on any level other than producing a baby. That's it.
Okay. All right, Toya. Apologize for the interruption. This is a safe place, so when people want to come out, we appreciate that. But anyway, Toya, we'll say you.
I agree wholeheartedly with what Truth Teller says. Um, I think we have lost the plot on what sexual intercourse actually means. We are so far beyond the fray on that, unfortunately. But it's true. It's why I have the ideas that I have about men and monogamy. You know, keys open locks, not the other way around.
Okay. All right. So let's move forward. Uh, we have another super chat, Roger.
Uh,
Roger, we have a.
yeah, no, give me one. Yeah, I'm just getting this guy back in. All right. All right. Also, shout out to Platform again. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. You say, hey, excuse me. Hey, ladies, we love y'all for real. So come on up. Let's hear your side. Grace. You know what? Shout out to Platform for that. Yes, if there are any ladies in the audience who want to come up and give their side, you are welcome to do so. You have found a safe place for you to give all your feelings and emotions and answers to. And I do mean it. This is a safe place, especially today. Gonna be a super safe place for you today. So come on up if you feel like it.
Yeah, absolutely. We run a tight ship here today. Everybody will be heard. Everybody will be facilitated. So please come up there. You can say what you want. There will be no retaliation today. Yeah. So welcome up. But men in wigs like Emperor are not count as women. All right. Let's move on. Okay. Let's go. Have you ever seen a man try to make a point in the conversation? Oh no, we that's kind of the same thing. If men are expected to communicate clearly, should the environment also support that communication? So I'm going to start with ladies first. So Toya.
Can you rephrase the question? I want to make sure I understand it.
Sure. So where is it? Okay, so if men are expected to communicate clearly, right, to say what they want, say what they mean, should the environment also support that communication? So
Oh,
from black men's perspective, maybe they feel like the environment doesn't support that kind of open and honest.
yeah, it should. I used to talk about this all the time when I would come up on Roger's panels. We really have to be the soft place to land, and that includes making a floor available to say the things that may be hard to say.
Okay, Roger.
Repeat the question one more time for me, please.
Black men are expected to communicate clearly. Should the environment support that?
Well, because of how the question is phrased, I'm gonna say absolutely yes. It should support that. Will you ever be in an environment where it is supported? Probably not. If you're a black man, especially in America, will you ever be in a place that is quote unquote safe for you to say what you want to say? Uh, because of the internet, there's a few artificial spaces that you can go that you can, quote unquote, feel safe or be safe. But realistically speaking, you will probably just about never be in a safe place to say anything.
Okay. Inspired truth.
Yeah. This one gets back to this whole idea of like, oh, men don't know how to communicate. And then when men actually do communicate, they're vilified for communicating. Like you want men to talk, you want them to be clear and open and honest. And then when they are clear and open and honest, they are punished for being clear, open, and honest. So like unfortunately, unfortunately, we don't have that environment, but we have the demands for being able to communicate open and honestly. We don't get what what people say that they want.
Okay. Black Guru, floor is yours.
Yeah, I mean, I think I'll, kind of be somewhat redundant. I mean, I think it's a gaslight to even suggest that society really wants Black men in particular to be really open and honest and truthful about what they think and feel. I mean, saying you want that and actually wanting that are two different things. I think there's very little about this society, either within or amongst Black people, and then especially external to Black people, that want any sort of fair and earnest accounting from Black men, because too many people benefit from otherwise. Too many people benefit from deceptions and lies and distortions of what Black men think, feel, and do. So no, I don't think anyone is genuinely actually motivated at all to get an earnest thoughts and commentary from Black men.
Okay. Great reset.
Uh, the short answer is yes to the question. The expanded answer is sometimes it's just better to ask for forgiveness than ask for permission. I don't understand why we're even asking for permission to be honest and truthful in any setting. If you're on the internet, of course you can't be honest and truthful because of the society in which we live in. But in person, in your real life, man, you should not never be asking anybody permission to tell the truth. I don't care who it is. And that's how I live my life. You teach people how to treat you. You train people how to expect you to show up. And I think black men need to take leadership, especially when it comes to their speech. Speak the truth at all times, and damn anybody's feelings.
Okay. Brock.
I'm gonna say, it's always important to speak the truth, right? But yes, the environment does warrant the welcoming of speaking that truth, no matter how hard it is, right? I think most men, in general, they're not going to be as truthful or overly truthful if they know that they're dealing with a woman. That if they do give some hard truth to, it's going to make the environment very chaotic. Wisdom tells us to stray away from that, right? And we won't deal with a wise man won't deal with too much of it to the point where it's robbing him of his peace, right? But yes, I do believe overall, floor through on that if the environment warranted you and you can handle the hard truth, I believe it's um a very a very good experience for women. A very good experience for women. But again, you all have to create the environment to go deeper into truth with us, and that's going to lead to great outcomes for you as well.
All right. Truth teller.
Well,
Oh, sorry. There's a super chat. Sorry.
yeah,
Super chat.
Shout out to Jerome Payne. Appreciate you, brother. Appreciate you. He says, open and honest. Sounds like a setup to me, fellas. You know
And
what? I think I hear the same thing.
Okay, a truth teller. We'll wrap it up with you. Not the just wrap up the question. Not the show. Truth teller, are you there? Or once? Going
Truth teller,
twice?
you're on mute. Do you know you're on mute?
he on mute because he over there lying.
Okay, 1, 2, 3. All right, we're moving on. We're moving on. All right, moving on. Tone. True or false? True or false, and why? Tone gets judged more harshly than the content in the conversation between men and women. Toya, your thoughts?
Mm,
True.
mm,
True, because it's always about how we feel. We live in the land of delusion. So as women, it's like, well, did you have to say it that way? Or why are you talking to me like that? Does it increase or decrease the efficacy of what's being said? Are you listening to the words or are you listening for your feelings? Um, yeah, true.
Okay. Roger.
Amazingly, I'm going to disagree.
Oh
I
shit.
think it's false.
Whoa.
I don't
what?
think tone has much to do with it at all. It's what advantage am I going to gain? So if I go with tone so I can gain an advantage to get past the truth, I'm going to say it's tone. But if you say something and I like what you said and it works for me, the tone is absolutely fine.
Mm,
Okay.
mm.
Inspired truth.
Yeah, so I'm kind of like a little bit on the fence with it. I would say true, but with this caveat that tone by tone they really mean feeling. Like if I feel this certain way about what you said, like then I'll just call that tone. Like even if you were saying it like quiet as a church mouse, I don't like your tone because I don't like how that feels. Like it still all comes back to feeling.
Okay. Black Guru.
I think Roger makes an excellent point. And
Mm,
moreover, none of us are Professor Xavier. So we don't really know whether or not our so-called tone is really an issue with women. We don't really know. We don't know if it is actually affecting her, and even if that's a valid uh, effect. And also, um, it may not just necessarily be important within the context of the issue that we're actually addressing. Here's the other thing about tone too. We've created a society as of late where we've empowered females and their sycophants and supporters to be able to use tone to control men. So, in addition to whether or not you know however the hell she feels, which could be anything, valid or not, in addition to that, her tone also helps her in the society, helps her legally. So I definitely think black men in particular need to become much more aggressive with respect to refuting this tone issue because it almost always puts us at a disadvantage in dealing with them. And we might have to even do it to the point in which having to confront the broader society. I'm going to speak like a man and I'm not going to capitulate because you claim your feelings hurt. Your feelings don't matter in this situation that requires fact and empiricism.
Okay. Who is next? I believe it's Brock.
Reset, right? Or
I'll reset. Oh, my bad. Reset. Okay, now it's you because he left.
all right. Um, yeah, I agree with what Ooh just stated there. Me personally, I don't care how I say something because I mean I'm not coming at you. I'm not putting my hands on you. I'm not being threatening, right? If I how I say it is how I say it. And I'm a big advocate when it comes to tone checking men, or I'm a huge advocate against it, tone checking men, because it does, in a sense, especially as black men, kind of makes us a bit more voiceless. It kind of limits our ability to go about being effective as men, right? It kind of changes the rules for us a bit and says, oh, you can't say it like this, or you can't say it at this hot take. You have to say it in a way that you will accept it at the time. It's just too much work. It's just too much work. For me, it is. If you have to tone police me, then we don't need to be here. Okay.
Okay. Great reset and then truth teller.
Okay. Man, Roger is always the wisest when he's not hosting the show. I think we own to something here. We need to look into that. So, on the hips of him and Uru, I would say tone and tears are in unison here because they're weaponized against us at times of convenience. I think in a lot of conversations we have with our lovely ladies, it's about we forget that everything with them is about control. Everything is about control. They're always seeking to find out how they can get control of a conversation or control of you and everything. In the tone and the tears in this question is the weapon that's being used.
Okay. We have a super chat, Roger.
Yeah, I'm putting it up now. Shout out to Jerome Payton again. I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you. He said, if men are going to have conversations with women, might I suggest you get your psychology degree first? You know what? That could help you be better prepared, but then again, not necessarily. I think you need to get your
I
patience up.
think the greatest value. I think the greater value of you getting a psychology degree might be understanding yourself. And so
Okay.
when you deal with them, you deal with them in your better advantage self position.
Okay, truth teller. Your turn.
Truth
Truth teller.
telling you that he,
Advice.
he he might be working too. He might be working.
Yeah. Okay, guys. Well, we're at the end of our list. This is the last question, and then we can probably just have an open talk after that. Um, Now, as we know, we have all dated sluts. So if sluts come with hurt and pain. So how do you communicate by navigating her past hurt and pain? Right? She's been on the cock carousel, got the thousand cock stare. So when you talk to her, sometimes things are going to be painful because of past hurt. So, knowing the cat facts, how do you navigate that? Because ain't nobody power driving Snow White up in this. Roger?
If I heard you correct, um, I don't worry about that. If you already broken, go get fixed. I'm not doing anything. I'm gonna talk to you like an adult. You either gonna deal with it or you're not. And if you're just not where you can deal with a person in a relationship from a mature standpoint because something happened to you, then you go fix your problem. That ain't got nothing to do with me. And I'm not doing anything to quote unquote navigate it. No, you go fix that first and you holler at me and see if I'm still available when you get yourself together.
Okay. Inspired Truth.
I
That
don't
was
want
very
to.
sensitive of you, Roger. Very sensitive. Inspired Truth.
Yeah, so I don't want to make this too much of love of like a me thing, but like if you're showing up to me, then you were waiting at the finish line. Like, and if you're showing up for like the winners at the finish line, then you guys show up as a finished product, not a broken product, not a product in in that needs to have the door installed or the window installed. Nah, it's got to be a finished product.
A
Uh,
broken vase cannot be fixed, my friend.
That's true too. So in those cases, like that's pretty much we're not even talking about it type of thing. We're just kind of getting this thing for what it is and doing the do that we need to do and moving on to the next.
Okay. Black Guru, what say you?
Yeah, I mean, other than some occasional, hit and quitter situation, I don't know why we trying to save. Are we trying to save sluts, or I'm trying to
Well,
I'm trying to figure out the logic.
okay, but
You
women
know.
in general, all older women, every woman has some kind of pay. So in general, not sluts, but women in general.
Oh well, yeah. Then I agree with Roger. You fix yourself. Physician heal by thine self. I mean, you're in an independent American society, liberated. Counseling services are freely available everywhere. So some of them are actually free. Why do I have any job at all to fix you? No, you either come to me whole, and then I judge whether or not you are actually whole and of sufficient benefit for me going forward, or I just passed you by the wayside.
Okay. All right. Great reset.
Under no circumstances should you attempt to fix a woman because of her past. Um, in my opinion, her past is her future. She's gonna continue doing the
No,
same
the
thing.
question is,
Just like
should you be sensitive to it? Not fix her, but should you be sensitive to it when you're talking to her?
no, absolutely not. You need to tell her the truth, especially if she has children, so she can know the truth is the only thing she can do is to teach her children not to do what she did. Absolutely not.
Okay.
No. See this goes
Bronx.
into that tone thing. No, hell no. Go ahead. My bad.
Bronx, you're up next, and then Truth Teller, you're after that. Okay, Bronx is busy. Truth
No,
Teller, are
I'm
you
here.
busy?
I'm here. My
Okay.
bad. I was on mute. A man has no responsibility to clean up or fix or try to change a woman's past. That is totally her responsibility. So I would just say, me, I tell a woman you need either a therapist or a pimp, and I'm neither of those. So you don't need me. So
Okay, Truth Teller, are you there? Going once, going twice. Okay, gentlemen. From here, I think I'm just gonna let you guys do what they do. Yeah, because the questions are pretty much exhaustive. A lot of them repeated themselves. So yeah, just Roger, if you want to come back to the top, thank you for everyone, and I think it's going to be just a open conversation from this point on.
Uh,
Great
why would
job, great
why would
job
you?
hosting.
Why,
Great job
absolutely,
moderating. Great job
absolutely.
moderating.
Why would you
yeah,
devalue the
that's
show by
private.
putting Roger back in charge? Why would you do
Because
that?
we're done.
First of all, let's keep it real. You did a good job, but the show about to improve. Okay.
Go ahead and improve it. Then. Just go ahead and improve it. Then.
No, man, you did a great job. Real talk, real talk. And shout out to Bruce Owen Wayne one more time, y'all.
This
He said,
nigga, man.
"Hey man, you shot shots. He got to shoot his too." He said, "Hot sauce on my chicken. Hot sauce everywhere." Okay.
This,
I'm starting to feel uncomfortable. I'm starting to feel uncomfortable about hot sauces and Deuce relationship. I'm feeling uncomfortable.
so, bro, let me educate you. Talking about you want hot sauce on your hot dog is not an insult to me, bro. That is on you. You look suspect, bro. Like, learn English, nigga, because goddamn.
I don't know.
This is Roger. I'm gonna tell you right now. This is Roger's fault. Roger gave him a longer sentence than he could stand, and he just don't. He went over to the other side, man. You know
Man,
he
Dark
couldn't.
side, man.
He couldn't hold himself
Dark side.
together.
Man,
Oh, you went to the
I
dark
didn't tell
side.
how. I didn't tell nobody to take shots at nobody while we was doing the show. I'm just gonna say that. I ain't throwing nobody on the.
man, I was not taking shots. This man said that he wanted to come back, so I said, "Hey, I'll help you out today. I'll use your name and spirit so you can be here with us." And
Hey
he didn't
man,
appreciate that.
when a guy show up as Emperor no good, you know it's gonna be some mess happening anyway. I guess
Hey,
we got to
man.
accept that. But to get more back on topic, I think it's a really in today's time it's a good question to ask: can black men and women even talk? Because I don't think most of us honestly really can. We sing like we talk, but we really kind of more talk at each other instead of talking to each other. And I do think because of black women's disposition, they do the vast majority of them believe there's nothing you can tell them, and anything that comes out your mouth as a man, it doesn't matter anyway. I think that's a very real thing amongst black women. Okay, but I do
Well,
promote
I
stupidity
would
as a
I would
choice.
also add, because you're talking about integrity, basically. I would add to that, we cannot punish them for their lack of integrity without suffering a great cost upon ourselves. See, at least if we could punish them for being deceptive and lying and manipulating and all of that, then at least we'd be in a position to correct the misbehavior and possibly get to a point where we could have mutually beneficial communication. But because the cost to our attempting to correct them is so high, there is no solution that's available to us that's cost beneficial.
Yeah, I think that's well stated. I think that's well stated.
And I've a lot of times in the past I've used the ideal about a man telling a woman, "I'm about to go get something to eat. Baby, do you want something?" The woman says, "No, I'm fine." Now everybody in the room know she ain't fine,
Mhm.
but she's gonna insist she's fine just for you to go get something to eat, so she can complain about how you didn't look out for her. And you insist that you said, "Baby, I was looking out for you. I asked you, did you want something?" But
I,
now I done changed my mind, and now she want to eat either half your stuff, sometimes even all of your stuff, and you better be okay with it at the end of the day.
I've been through
To-
that scenario so many times.
to-
So many times.
You
Even
know,
at the
you know,
restaurant.
I
when
think
I
that
believe when
love.
women start playing those type of games with you, I think you should just walk away from that, man. Because why?
I,
Why?
I I think
I think the type of relationship you have with that woman connotes what that means to some women. And depending on what kind of relationship you have with that woman, exchanging your meal with you is an expression of love. It really is. Conversely, in a different kind of relationship, it's like an expression of power. But, having been married and gone through that, my wife loves to eat off my plate. And I know it's an expression of love. I know it is. So when we go out, I know we're going to be sharing meals. I know that. And I don't have a problem with that. But that's a function of the quality of our overall relationship. So I mean, that's kind of, if you haven't though had that quality and depth and duration of relationship, then that kind of thing is going to be perceived differently. And I understand that. But in a different kind of relationship, it means something very different.
well, what I wanted to say before folks chimed
Uru,
in was that
Uru bent the knee. Uru bent the knee.
no, I don't think that happened. But I, I do believe I do believe women are quote unquote in love with the lie itself. See, regardless of what you think it means to you as a man, she wants to tell that lie. That's where I was actually going with it. She want to tell that lie. She knows she hungry. You know she hungry. She know you've been there long enough to know she hungry, and you asking her, is she hungry? She gonna say no anyway, knowing that you know she is hungry. They're in love with telling the lie in the first place. You know. Now it doesn't mean I'm not saying it means she's gonna be an awful person to you. My thing is I just accepted women love to lie. And I think That's one of the reasons that black men have issues communicating with women, because we have yet to understand that they're in love with the idea of lying. The
Is it
ideal of
the
lying itself is attractive to them.
is it the lie, or is it the romantic fantasy? Like the romantic fantasy that you're going to divine the ability to order her exact meal that she exactly wanted, even though she explicitly said that she didn't want it. Oh my gosh, this guy knows me so well, he just got it for me anyway.
Well, she a lot of them would rather tell you the lie to see if you can come up with the
You,
right meal, so she
you,
can take it as
you,
an
you,
expression of
you,
love to you.
you would know that depending on how long you've been with that woman. Because a lot of this stuff is a function of your, like when we were talking about sex earlier and the power and the value of sex, it's entirely dependent on the quality of your overall relationship. Having great sex with a woman means a completely different thing if you're committed to her and married to her versus some guy you just met in the bar. Maybe the physical act of sex is commensurate, but the emotions and the feelings and the spirit being conveyed is something totally different.
No. Oh.
I think we lost him. That's what I believe happened. I think we
No,
lost
he
him.
probably was finished. He probably was finished.
Yeah. But I would agree that because there are different reasons that women have sex, but I think men have to accept that women love lying, and that's why I've said time and time again, as a black man, you should understand that a woman's going to lie to us, and they're gonna lie on us. That's what they do to black men. But they love lying. Period. So the whole thing about baby, do you want something to eat? That doesn't say anything about a man. Just says you're with a woman. If you're gonna say something about a man, it says you're with a woman. That you ask that question, I already know she gonna lie. It's not shocking to me she's about to lie. You know, I just have a routine that I'm gonna do something because I know she's gonna lie already. Now, if I ask a woman this, I'm really just being courteous. That's all it is. You know, it's just me being courteous so I can say I was courteous. What come out her mouth behind me asking that question, it has no real value to me. Because more than likely, she's not going to give me a food order. Now, if she gave me a food order, I would get the food order. But she's probably not going to give me a food order. So therefore, I'm going to make a decision. And based on how she feel about me, she's going to be looking at what did my decision making mean for her. What? Oh, he got me just the right sandwich. He got me just the right meal. He went to the right restaurant. He really loves me. He really be thinking about me. See, a lot of this is going to be about her internal feelings about what you did externally for her. And I know that. But I also have to recognize the fact I can't depend on her to tell me the truth. The one thing I rarely look for in women is truth. And don't get me wrong, I want any woman I'm dealing with to tell me the truth, and I make that a huge focus. But I do know when I'm talking to a woman that I'm dealing with, I'm trying to get her to start telling the truth on a regular basis because I don't expect any one of them to be accustomed to telling the truth. So a woman that I don't deal with in a relationship, I don't expect truth from them.
But women are always going to lie to you in order to get that dopamine, no
Yeah,
matter what.
I
Women
don't
are going
know.
to,
I don't know. I
lie to
don't.
you because they want that special feeling. They're going to lie to you because they want to be feel loved and special. They're going to lie to you because they want a mind reader. Because all that attention is dopamine. They're going to lie,
Yeah.
and more importantly, though, if she doesn't have a father, she's going to lie even more because you have to replace those daddy years of affection that she didn't get.
Yeah.
Hmm. And generally speaking, I agree. Generally speaking, yeah, I definitely agree. But I don't think
Am
that's
I
true of. I don't think that's true of maybe um, a woman that you know you've been dealing with a while, right? Oftentimes, I believe with those type of women, you kind of got a good feel about this woman. She's got some good family dynamics. She has a pretty decent background. I'm not sure I'd say that that type of woman is intentionally just lying. Again, it kind of goes back to what I was saying earlier about just them thinking from a very feeling centered perspective versus the reality that a situation might actually be. And I think that's oftentimes it could be mistaken. So I think you have to be careful with knowing the difference between the two.
Well,
Am
I
I
think
coming through? Like, can y'all hear me? I
yeah,
got kicked off with that phone call.
Yeah, we
I
got
hear
you.
you.
Oh, okay. Well, before, like, I guess kind of piggybacking off of that, like, I gotta say, like, some of this stuff is kind of like the whole romantic fantasy thing, like, and you have to kind of like sort of draw them out of that romantic fantasy world into your world, and sometimes that can be kind of a little bit of a struggle and a conflict, doing that
Yeah.
Why?
And I'm gonna say shout out to
Why is
Glenn
it a
Payne.
struggle and a conflict to do that?
because they want to live in that world, man.
No,
Yeah,
but why is
I
it a
think y'all
struggle?
misunderstand something. Whatever, I had to drop for a second. It's not a
Oh,
struggle.
oh,
That's not who they are.
no,
Yeah,
no,
it's
no.
not who they are. I,
I'm I'm interrogating him
oh, sorry.
on why is it a struggle to have that conversation with them. Like we know they live in fantasy land. Like you should be presenting yourself to them from the very beginning. I do not live in fantasy land. I will not live in fantasy land with you
I
from the
agree.
very beginning.
Yeah.
That's why I'm
You
asking,
should.
like, why is that a struggle for
I don't
us?
disagree with you. I think that's just a waste of time, though.
No, it's not. If you
Think
practice it,
about it.
I promise you, it's not.
So what happens is it's like getting with somebody who used to do drugs. The tendency to
Uh huh.
do drugs is always there. No matter if you put your foot down and say, "Don't have this tendency to do drugs," right?
Okay.
It's always going to be there. So what I'm saying is this is who they are, right? Now, I'm not saying don't put your foot down and make sure it's clear that this is not, you won't accept it. I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is you're literally setting them up to fail because if this is who they are, they're going to do it. They're going to break the rule. Now, how detrimental it is to you when they break the rule depends on which rule they break. But are you, and then most of us are not willing to hold stand with that rule. So let's say we say, I'm not going to accept the delusion. I'm not going to accept the lying. I'm not going to do this. But she lies to you about going out with her girlfriend. She ain't cheat on you, but she lied to you about going out with her girlfriends. Does she have the same penalty as if she lied to you about going out and cheating on you?
That's the
It's the
difference
same
between
lie.
fantasy. That's the difference
Right.
between living in fantasy land. That's something entirely different. You're moving the
Well, no, what I'm
goalposts.
saying,
You're
it's
having a
not.
different
But what I'm saying
conversation.
is you missed the point. It's not. It's still a lie. If your foot was put down saying, don't lie to me, and she lied to you about something small versus something big, our mindset is the fantasy. Because now we want to give grace. Well, she only lied to me about going out with her friends. She didn't really do nothing. Oh, she lied to me about going out with her friends, but she got with this nigga, right? We're the ones who are in the delusion thinking we can coerce them not to be who they are. That's the problem. You're not taking them for who they are. You're literally trying to make them into something that they're not by thinking if you set these rules or if you act a certain way, they're going to stop being the people who they are.
No, no,
They're
no, no,
always
no,
going to be
no,
like this. No matter how long, how you're with them, what rules you set, how hard you put this down, they're always going to be this way.
no. You misunderstand. You misunderstand the purpose. The purpose is to separate the wheat from the chaff. You're gonna have those that refuse to come out of that fantasy, and they're gonna get away from you. And you're going to have those that are willing to capitulate, those that are willing to accept the discipline of living in the real world with you. Those are the ones you go forward with.
No, no, I
It's
hear
And I
what you're saying.
100%,
separate.
I
Right, but
100% agree with that. Go ahead,
if
bro.
all of them carried the risk, what was the point of you going through all of that?
I just told you, you're not listening.
Oh gosh. Did you hear
I
me?
did.
If all of them carry the risk, some of them do it
Yes.
more than others, but they all are going to do it because that's who they are. You setting the rule does what exactly?
Okay, I'm gonna tell you again. I'm
Uh-huh.
gonna go take it a little further back. We all
Okay.
grew up in this with the Disney fantasy, men and women. right?
Right.
Men are forced to accept reality because of the actual lives that we live. They're allowed to live in a fantasy a little longer than us because we provide them protection and all this other kinds of stuff, and we give them grace. So they live in it for a little longer than us. But when you come into adulthood and you're getting ready to get married and you're coupling yourself with these women, when you're vetting them out, you have to start them off with one of the things. Hey, this is not fantasy land over here. The ones that refuse to come out of the fantasy land, they are not for you. You get rid of them.
Reset. I 100% agree with that statement about making sure that they know up front that you're not one of the guys who plays that fantasyland bullshit. You definitely let them know that up front. You don't start a relationship with a woman without letting her know that up front. If you have matured to that point as a man, right? However, you're not going to know what her response to that is until you get further into the relationship.
Correct.
And so
But
there's going and so there are
it's a
going to come
sifting.
up instances. Yeah, it's a system, it's a foundation that you lay in place. However, it's not going to go without challenge, right? And I think
Of
that's what he's
course.
speaking to. I think that's what he's speaking to. He's saying that it's in a female's innate nature to
No,
And what I'm al-
do that.
I
what
agree
I'm
with
also
that.
trying I'm just trying to also point out to is the delusion isn't on their side, right? It's
Yeah.
not on their
Uh-huh.
side. It's on our side. We're delusional to think that this will change them. It won't. We're not realizing this is the people that they are. Now I'll point something out to you. You just gave an example of the fairy tales. You know, we all grew up on fairy tales. In those fairy tales, the princesses were ladylike, clean, classic, virgins. Which part of that fantasy did these hoes take with them? So it's you who fell for the fantasy, not them. Because if they fell for the fantasy, they would be acting differently until they got the nigga and then expected the nigga to treat them like a princess and acting crazy. But
I
they
think
don't
that
even act
another
like princesses.
I think that another part of the romantic fantasy that we play into is this whole idea of like unconditional love and unconditional
Right.
forgiveness. Like we
It's
we believe
us.
in unconditional
Correct.
forgiveness.
Yes. Just like I said, if you set the rule down, no lies, and they tell a lie, suddenly you waver on, okay, that was my set rule. Well, because it was a small lie, I'll let it go. But if it's a bigger lie, I'll keep it. Then there's no sense
No,
in you
no,
having the rule.
All right.
no. You took it away from what we were discussing. We were discussing that they live in fantasy land. We're not talking about like you're cheating and stuff like that. It's just like a woman will tell you, you might be moving from one apartment to the other. She'll say, I want to buy a house. She's not going to say I want to contribute to buy a house. She's just going to tell you I want a house. She don't care how it's afforded.
So first of all, thank you, Tim, for
Well,
everything that you've
well,
been doing with the lessons learned.
is this for us or that
I
truth
think
telling
so.
legends
That was
stuff get
me.
out that
That
ain't
was
supposed
me.
to get out? No, I'm
No,
just
that
trying to
was
make
me.
sure
That wasn't.
that was for us. It's not for somebody else. That's all. I
Oh
don't
no,
want
no,
you.
no, no. Yeah, it wasn't mine. I was walking past the speaker. It's cool.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, let me get this super chat in right now. Then shout out to Jerome Payne. He said, "Damn, so every man needs to be Professor X now." Laugh out loud. I'm gonna say you don't need to be Professor X. I do think men have to accept that women lie because women have a job to manipulate the world. Men build the world, we maintain the world. A woman's job is to manipulate the world, meaning she has to get somebody else to do it. A woman wants something to exist. She don't build it herself for the most part. Now, you sure you can always find a rare case, the guy with no legs. You can go find a woman who made something. She exists out there somewhere. But in general, you're not gonna find a woman who's gonna make anything. A woman gets a guy to make it. That's how she manipulates the world. And because she manipulates the world on a regular basis, eventually she figures out lying is an easier way for me to manipulate the world. I may get faster results here and there if I just start lying. So women become liars because, the lack of integrity they have of trying to manipulate the world through truth. Because they could do it that way, but sometimes they just want quicker results. So they just start lying. It's an unfortunate issue that they don't have the integrity to just manipulate the world with truth because they could if they wanted to. But it probably
Well,
is going to be
I,
more
I, I
difficult
think
depending on your request.
I think this conversation, we're effectively trying to put toothpaste back into the tube. If she wasn't raised right in a certain environment where we're being earnest and truthful with men and engaging in goodwill with men and having a basic level of respect for men, which then compels her to then be more earnest with men. If she wasn't raised that way, then when you get her at 25 or 30, she's told she's told legendary lies up to that point. So for you to think you're going to somehow prevent, eradicate, determine, prognosticate whatever lying she's doing, that horse is already out of the barn, fellas. You know, if she wasn't raised in a particular kind of way, in a particular kind of environment, ain't nothing you gonna be lied to. You gonna be lied to. Maybe you figure out 20% of the lie or 25% of the lie, but she's been lying her whole life up to that point. It ain't nothing you're gonna be able to do to stop that or predict that or whatever. In America, and most of what we consider to be America, you're gonna be dealing with a deceiver, a liar. And at best, you hope that she don't tell the kind of lies where you find out, well, we shouldn't find this out, but other men find out 2, 3 years later the kid ain't their kind of lie. Maybe you hopefully she don't tell those kind of lies, but she gonna be lying. In America, a black woman, unless she's from somewhere, maybe Islamic or whatever environment where women are harshly punished for deception, oh, she gonna be lying. I don't care who you deal with.
Yeah, I'm gonna say what I've tried to do is just try to not to stop a woman from being a liar. My attempt was to get her to stop lying to me. Look, I know you're gonna lie. Just lie to other folks, but tell me the truth. You know what I'm saying? Because she gonna be who she is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day. So my thing is, you got to tell me the truth. Because when your lies get out of pocket, and I'm not even, I hit her with I ain't even saying you a liar.
Who is a woman most motivated to lie to?
Man.
I mean,
a man.
The man she's dealing with. The man she's dealing with. Absolutely.
Because everything is riding on you. So if you think she's gonna be a liar to everybody else, but you, you gone astray from female psychology if you believe that is possible.
No, I'm not saying that's possible. I'm trying to set something in her mind that she will at least give me truth more than she won't give me the truth. She's going to lie because people lie. I don't expect anybody to tell the truth. My mama gonna lie to me at some point.
The lesser risk of her lying is to other people. When she's lying to you, everything is relying on you. So the lying to you is of greater value because of the return associated with the lie.
I totally get what you're saying. I already said when I deal with a woman, I'm already know the toy comes broken. You take it out the box, this is gonna be a broken part of this toy. I'm trying to minimize the damage. That's what I'm trying to do. I'm not trying to get her to be something she's not. I'm just trying to get the damage minimized. She is who she is at the end of the day. But any woman I deal with is gonna be a liar. I didn't say it so. I've said so much stuff about women lying. At this particular point, everyone should pick up on the fact that I just don't believe them. Okay, I mean we talked about the body count question. I normally say it doesn't make a difference what did she tell me her body count is. I'm not gonna believe the answer. I just believe in general they're gonna lie to me. I start with their liars. That's my starting ground. Okay, that they're liars. Okay, I don't expect them to too much tell me the truth about nothing. And that's why I use the point about going to get something to eat. I can't depend on a woman to tell me a sandwich order.
Can she be a liar but with loyalty? Like, can she be loyal to me but a liar? I think maybe that might be possible.
Well, I mean, the thing is, I do believe if you create a certain environment, you can minimize you could at least start to minimize some of the lies. Shout out to Jerome Payne. I'll give y'all an example in a minute. Shout out to Jerome Payne one more again. He said children lie too, Roger. No, we all lie at the end of the day. Even men lie. I've talked about that before. Sometimes we're gonna lie for convenience. I'm gonna go out the door. A woman asks you a question. You know, if you give her the real answer, you about to have a half-hour conversation. So because you're trying to get out that door, you're gonna lie for convenience and just tell her something else. Now you may tell her the truth later, so you can deal with that half-hour conversation later.
She gonna lie, but you can profile the likelihood and the type of lies. For example, her number of friends, her frequency of activity with those friends, her social media presence, obviously her age and her prior sexual history, to the extent that you're familiar with some of it, is predictive of the degree to which she will lie. If she has a lot of friends, she's doing a lot of lying. She's hearing a lot of lying, and she's doing a lot of lying. So, all other things being equal, you might want to pick a woman who has fewer friends, because she's less likely to be engaged in lying. Just as an example.
Well, that's what I see. That's minimizing it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm gonna say something I've always done with children, because I don't have my own children. So what I've always done with children, I've told them, look, I know y'all gonna do something behind your parents' back. It's gonna happen from time to time. Y'all kids growing up. But this what you do. Anytime you do something, you make sure I know about what you're actually doing. Now, I'm not going to tell your parents on you, but I need to know what you're actually doing. So if y'all need to call somebody to bail y'all out, you call me, because you're going to be trying to avoid your parent. See, I know we all know how kids going to be. What I'm trying to do is give them an adult that they can call without it necessarily getting back to their parents. So in case, before stuff get too big and out of hand, they can get removed from a situation. And there's a lot. You see what I'm saying?
As a parent, if I'm hearing that's going on, Roger, you in trouble with me, player. You are in trouble with me, player.
Okay,
if I discover, let me tell you, if you not actually lying to them and back channeling to me, unless you doing that, me and you got some real problems.
Yeah, I totally get what you're saying. The thing is, it ain't about my relationship with the parents. What I've been able to do with kids is because they will tell me what's going on, I've been able to literally stop them from doing the stuff in the first place. I'd be like, no, that's going to be too much. I couldn't get you out of that one. So don't do it. Don't do that one in the first place.
No, it's not your job to assume that responsibility. It's not your job to assume that responsibility.
No. I'm not saying it is. Now,
because when something happens to those children, their parents got to fix that shit.
No.
Right.
No. Listen. The relationship I had with a child ain't got nothing to do with the relationship with the parents. And see, the thing is, I'm telling the kid what to do.
Whose children are you talking about? Whose children are you talking about having a relationship with that ain't got nothing to do with their parents? Are you talking about minor children?
No. I'm saying my relationship with the parent ain't got nothing to do with them as a child. It has nothing to do with them. You see what I'm saying? So,
Roger, you're walking in a minefield.
No, I'm not.
You don't even know it.
No. You're not hearing what I'm saying.
I'm just confused. To me, it's just this simple. If you know something about what's going on with my child and ain't telling me, player, you and I got problems.
I get that, and that's not what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. The relationship I have with a child is a different relationship than the relationship I have with a parent. If a child is planning something that they ain't got no business doing, of course I'm gonna talk to the parent, but the kid ain't gonna know it, because that's a different relationship. You see what I'm saying? I'm getting information that they're trying to hide in the first place. Their parents have been informed of what they're doing anyway. They just don't know that I'm talking to a parent, because they don't have the same relationship with me as they have with the parent.
You're putting yourself in a dangerous position by doing that. You're putting yourself in a dangerous position, because if something goes down and there's some confusion about who knew what and who said what, you're fucked.
Well, it's people I'm close to, mainly nephews and nieces. So, I don't think I'm going to have too much of a problem going on. And anything I know, their parents need to know. they gonna know it before it happened anyway. So I think we okay. You know, you know.
Woo! Woo!
No, I'm
Oh,
serious. If they planning something, their parents need to know about it before they even get a chance to do it. Their parents gonna know, so we gonna be okay. But that don't mean that they're gonna tell the kid that it came from me. They'll just change a plan, do something, and then whatever their plans was have been eliminated automatically. But they ain't gonna
I'm a,
necessarily know it came from me.
I'm gonna
woo!
throw a bomb in there real quick. Like, what about like when they're talking about like, hey, they're like, I need to get this hotel so that I'm not out here in these alleys and like the duck off and stuff like that. Like that could become a pretty deep conversation when you end up getting down to it with some of the certain kids and stuff.
Nah, I mean, I found out information that got me to get people to remove a kid from it. Man, they finna go to the hotel. Don't let her go out that night. They finna go to the hotel. Don't let him go out with them. You know what I'm saying? To me, that's useful information to a parent. You don't help. You're not helping the children get away with something. You're just monitoring what the kids are doing. Y'all taking it as you're helping the kid get away with something. You're not helping the kid get away. You're just
No,
getting the
no,
kid to tell you.
we're not taking it like you think we're taking it. I promise you.
Okay, well, we'll move on from that. We'll leave that in a different conversation for a different day. Shout out to Trail Bentley. He's and appreciate the 57-cent Trail Bentley tax, of course. He said when dealing with minor children, there's no relationship outside of the parents. I mean, I'm gonna agree to that. At the end of the day, everything should be go through what a parent says is or is not okay. I agree with that wholeheartedly. Um, Now, K Marie is joining us, and we got Tunnel Runner joining us as well, and Toy is back. So I'm gonna try to let them get the mic. K Marie, you can start wherever you want to start from because you just got here. Um, I don't know if you heard
Okay.
anything from earlier, but say whatever you want to say. Start wherever point you want to start from.
Well, I'm going to sit for just a moment because I'm just not coming in, just so I can
Okay,
develop the context before I speak.
not a problem. Not a problem.
Okay.
All right, Tunnel Runner, what's good, my brother?
Everything's good, sir. Everything good. I mean, I just had some coconut pancakes. I had some apple juice with a little bit of ginger in it. I had some omelet and some avocados on the side. So things are real good right now. Real
Okay,
good. Real good.
Somebody's
sounds
You
background.
hateful tunnel runner. You hateful, sir. You're hateful.
sorry, sorry, sorry. But
hey.
sí se puede. Yes, we can. But anyway,
Salute to you, Tunnel
I'm gonna
Runner.
go. I'm gonna go. I'm full of myself right now,
Nah.
so I'm gonna go. Bye.
Salute to you,
Oh,
brother, and salute to the wife. Real talk. Salute to you and salute to the wife,
yeah.
y'all. That's what we can have, y'all. I asked him to say that stuff because that's what we can have, y'all. We can have it. It's possible. I just want people to know it's possible. All right, but I'm gonna let Toya get the mic because she's on limited time here and there. So Toya, were you coming up to say anything in particular?
No, I was just rejoining because I had to step off for a little while. I hope I didn't miss a specific question that you wanted me to answer.
No. We've exhausted the question, so now it's just more of open
Okay.
conversation, and we were just talking about women lying. So now I'm gonna ask you then, because we just dealt with this thing about women lying about a food order. It's many men who about to go get something to eat, and they've asked their woman, "Baby, do you want something to eat?"
Hmm.
And y'all tell us that you don't want nothing, but as soon as we get home,
We
y'all
want some of
want
yours.
something.
Hmm.
What's going on with that lie?
Um, I don't think there's one answer necessarily to what's going on with that lie, but I do think that it points towards that lack of maturity that I was talking about earlier. Um, just not being able to say what you want and state it plain, going around mulberry bushes, staying in delusion. I think also it could be rooted in if I don't ask for it, maybe it doesn't seem like I'm asking for much when I do ask for some of yours. It can be tied to a little bit, I think, of manipulation. What does it look like versus what is it actually? Does that make sense?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Absolutely. Yeah. And I'm gonna ask K Marie as well. K Marie, any thoughts on what's going on with that?
You know, it's going to be however I agree with Toya, but in the same sense, it's going to be who's measuring it, right? First and foremost, do you know the person you are having this conversation with? So you can pick up really easy whether or not they're being manipulative versus them wanting you to just lean into the vulnerability or, something of that aspect. I wouldn't necessarily term it a lie until you determine, I guess, other details. Because, for example, I may not be hungry at that time. So you may come in with something like, damn, maybe I should have spoke up a bit sooner and say I changed my mind. You never know the circumstances, right? It's going to come with knowing who your person is. You know if a bitch lying to you, not, excuse my French. But
Oh,
again, I need to develop more context. So I'm going to sit back and observe for a moment.
so Roger, I'm back. I can facilitate. I got more appropriate questions.
Oh, okay. We're gonna go back. Let's do it then. Let's do it. We're gonna put hot sauce back in, excuse me, Emperor No Good back in charge. And he's gonna do
My,
his thing.
my time, the show had devolved. It had devolved.
Okay.
The
Uh,
haters are definitely here in the building. Real talk.
okay. So again, gentlemen, you gentlemen and ladies, you know the rules. Ladies will go first. I'll ask the question, and then after that, the men will respond. Roger will get first crack at it since this is panel for the men. Then we'll go to Black Guru as he has privilege. Then Inspired Truth as this is topic.
Inspired has privilege over me for this
Inspired because it's yeah. I'm
particular.
sorry.
Yeah,
You're correct.
yeah.
Inspired because this is topic. He paid for it. Then Black Guru, and then we'll go, and then uh Black Great Reset, and then we'll go next because you young niggas need to know. I was very offended by conversation. You niggas
Gen
don't learn.
X in the house, bitches.
You niggas don't learn. You niggas don't learn today.
Man, I'm getting tired of this nigga, man.
Gang, gang.
Will
I'm getting tired of this nigga, man.
thank you. But without further ado, okay, and Bronx, bro, you're skating on thin ice. I am the head nigga in charge. That means I ask questions. You can comment, you can whatever, you can clarify, but god damn it, I am the nigga asking questions. All right?
Give him a little bit, boy. Give him a little bit.
Like
Okay.
Mr. Clark.
I run a tight ship. I run a tight ship. Okay, now that everybody understands, now let's move on. Okay,
We
so
understand for no good.
all right, so let's get back on topic. So first, we're going to go with mind reader. I lied to you because I want to feel better. What does that mean to you? I will do Toya first, and then K Marie, and then we'll go in order. I lied to you because I want to feel good.
I'm depending on you to manage my feelings instead of actually doing what it is that's in my power to dictate that. That's what that means.
Okay. K Marie.
Yeah, I'm going to agree with Toya again. There's the guy that I date, and let's just use this for prime example. Um, we have pretty in-depth conversations, and one of which is I'm not responsible for your feelings. I agree with that, right? Because as women, we become very irrational, thinking from an emotional state versus a practical state. Um, but lying to someone just to feel better, yeah, that's a red flag. Get the fuck out the way. You're still in time.
Okay. So you're telling me. So both of you ladies, I'm just clarifying. I'm just clarifying. Get it straight. So you're both telling me that in relationships, you do not lie to your men to feel better, or you don't lie
No,
at all.
No,
Okay.
no, there shouldn't be a conversation that we couldn't have. If I can't have a real conversation with my guy and vice versa, then what are we
No,
doing?
no, 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 no. Well, let me give you context. I lie because I want to feel good. So, for example, let's go to the food order thing. I want to see if this nigga knows me. I want to see if he knows my favorite food, if he knows my order. I want to see if he cares about me. So I'm just gonna lie and say I don't want anything, so I can feel validated and loved.
That's stupid.
Okay, all right.
That's a childish game. Like, why? You state what you want. You be clear about it, and you don't hold expectation. Like, you can't hold that man to expectation because you want to play a manipulative game. That's silly. If you don't want it, just don't want it. Don't see if he's going to bring it in or he's thoughtful. And then, that's also going to make me question myself. If that were me, okay, if he's not as thoughtful, why am I in this? I need to go be where I'm thought of. Stop waste. That's wasting and stealing time. That's a
Okay,
manipulative. You don't do stuff like this. Stupidity.
okay. So then I'm gonna flip it for the men a little bit. Now I'm gonna lie to my woman because I want to feel good. Roger, the ball's in your court.
I've never had a thought process of lying to a woman so I can feel good. I do believe we're going to lie for convenience, which I was just saying earlier. It's just a lie for convenience. Not that I have an issue telling the truth. A woman wants to deal with something at a very inconvenient time. Say, for example, you got to be at work at 9 o'clock a.m. She wants to bring
Yeah.
something up at let's say it's 8:15. You know you need 30 minutes to get to work. You got a good 15 minutes to be there before work actually starts. So you kind of really trying to hit the dough. She asked you something at 8:15 though. You know, I need to leave right now because it's traffic time for me. I get a 15 minute just in case something go wrong. I got to be there at 9. So rather than tell her the truth at that moment, I'm alive for the convenience to get out the door and make it to work without this being the issue right now. I'll deal with the issue later.
So
Now, I
just
think that would kind of go along with lying. Maybe what you're saying was lying to make her feel good or something.
no
Because
lie to I lied so I can feel good. I
what,
can feel.
well, I feel good about getting to work on time. You know, so would that qualify?
Yeah, sure, sure it does. Inspired you. I'm gonna lie to her because I want to feel good.
Okay, I can see a kind of like a little bit of a reason to do this. Like, so there's one example, like the one that Roger pointed out, so that I can go to work, so that I can pay this rent, so we can live and all that. There's that, but then there's also so that you don't get scammed in the power dynamic. Like, there's a lot of things where if you tell all of the honest truth about you and they're lying about themselves, you end up with like the short end of the stick. So you have to like kind of like mitigate that to a certain extent so as you can move confidently in this power dynamic without getting screwed over by showing your cards in this game of poker.
Black Guru, the ball's in your court.
This is this this is an that's an interesting question you asked because just what a half an hour ago we were drawing some pretty hard lines against the women line, weren't we? Weren't we?
Come on
Now
now. Preach.
we
Preach.
ourselves appear to be open to lying to women for our convenience. Funny how that funny how that
Whoa.
works, ain't it?
Preach.
Funny how
Preach.
how
One
that
second.
that
Black Guru,
that
please
works.
1 second. Hold on. Listen, gentlemen,
Mm.
this ain't no barnyard. God damn it. Let him speak. We don't need the yelling or who in the hollering. I run a tight
I'm
ship.
sorry.
Thank you very much.
I
Black
apologize.
Guru, I apologize.
I
Yeah.
apologize.
See. This
Man,
kind of is in my realm, my sort of anti-religion realm because of the duplicity on issues, particularly regarding lying and sex and stuff like that. I think human beings lie. They lie for their convenience. They lie for the convenience of other people. They lie because they're afraid. They lie because they don't know and they fear what they don't know might reveal about them. People lie. And the best you can do is to have an environment in which the lies are somewhat minimized, the effects of the lies are somewhat minimized, and hopefully she has enough in her upbringing to suggest that she's not going to lie about some very important kind of stuff. So, of course, there are going to be times where I lie to my convenience and my comfort and enjoyment. Of course, there will be such. And I have no qualms with that.
Very interesting, because Roger, like, she gonna lie about the food order, but this nigga lying to get to work. I don't same shit.
I was just giving an example. That's all I'm giving an example.
Hey, I'm just a facilitator, but I'll lie for a blowjob, Jack. Tell you that.
Yeah, yeah. You know what? You know what? I think the more important thing
For that
here is,
pleasure,
Whoa, 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 whoa,
it's
whoa,
it's
whoa,
not.
whoa, 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 whoa! I believe it's Great Reset.
Yeah,
Let's
bro,
rein
we
it
we
in.
not open no more. He back.
Oh, okay,
Facilitate.
that's
We
right.
not
Yeah,
open
yeah,
no
yeah.
more.
You back? Hot sauce ass back.
Black Reset.
Listen. I want to say I apologize. I caught the Holy Ghost while the man was preaching. I
I
apologize
understand. I
for that.
understand.
He said Holy Ghost.
And um, you know what I want to say to the lovely K Marie? I have no idea who your man is, no idea. I want to put that out there, but he sounds like he ain't shit. That's what I'm saying. So I'm praying for you, sister. I'm praying for you.
Nah,
So,
nah, 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 nah. Trust me, if he
Whoa, whoa,
wasn't,
whoa, whoa,
I'm
whoa,
gonna
whoa.
say this.
No, no,
If he
K
wasn't
Marie, K
shit, trust
Marie,
me,
K
he wouldn't be
Marie, K
tapping this.
Marie,
I guarantee you.
K Marie, K Marie, K. I'm sorry, I'm sorry. No, 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 no. We do not interrupt. Let the man say, and then I will give you the space to reply. But I'm gonna type it in. Okay, go ahead, baby. Go
um,
ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, I just want to let you know I'm praying for you, sister. I know you got a tough battle on your hands, but just keep on going. Now, to the question at hand. I'm coming behind Black Guru over here. I'm disappointed in you
okay,
niggas.
wait, we got to
Other
pause
than
on
Black
that one.
Guru.
We definitely got to pause on that one.
Hold on. Can we,
We got to
Roger? I
pause
need
on that one.
Oh,
Roger, mute everybody right now. Please mute everybody right now.
Tenfold,
Mute everybody right now. Everybody.
tenfold,
Thank
tenfold.
Mute everybody. Ladies and gentlemen, I run a smooth ship. If you hear something that you do not like, I
Oh, my bad. I just accidentally
no,
muted
it's okay,
you.
it's
My
okay.
bad.
I respectfully ask that you wait until he's finished, and then I will point to you. Okay, I run. This is Germany right now. We are efficient, we are lean, and we are smooth. Now, but Great Reset. I also ask you, please do not antagonize the females on the panel. You can say, and if he attacks, and men, if he attack y'all, just hold your water until your time, and then you can attack. Yesterday, I was attacked. I held my water for 24 hours until I attacked. If I can do it, you can do it.
Yeah.
Okay? Great Reset, please,
Well,
continue.
Emperor, before you go, we got Shark backstage. I'll flip myself in and out if it's
Okay,
okay for him to come up and answer some questions and things too. I'll
okay.
flip us between the two. And can I say, because I'm host of the show, so I should get a little bit of privilege, even though you in charge right
No,
now.
no, no. You get all the proof. This is
Well,
your
well,
shit.
I just want to say I am absolutely ashamed of GBR right now to attack these lovely ladies who
Yes.
graciously are participating in our show. So I'm just ashamed of him right now, and I just want the ladies to understand. Rogers does not encourage stuff like this. Okay, I don't know what is going on with him today. We will have a good stern talking to him when we get
Yeah.
back to the round table. We're gonna have a good
Another
stern talking to him. Okay,
and
so
another attack on any of the ladies, you'll be timed out for 30 minutes. Timed out.
Emperor, I'm good. Make sure I can
Whoa,
answer
whoa,
this
whoa,
question.
Turn around. I did not call you. I did
Okay,
not
yes,
call you,
sir.
bro.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now, another attack on the ladies, 30 minutes time out. And I love you. I love you, Reset. Please don't make me be an asshole. I beg you. Help me help
I,
you.
I won't. Yeah, I just wanted to point out that they just disrespecting you all over the place up here. They just won't follow your rules. I don't understand, but I'm not trying to attack any
Well,
other
that's
ladies.
fine
I'm
for
just
order. We all good now. Everybody
I appreciate
understand.
it. Okay,
Everybody
I understand. I hear it in my sister's voice that she got some
No, no, no,
hardship
no.
over
Let's
there.
let's
But
move on. Let's move on from that.
okay,
Move on.
now
Let's move.
to the question. I'm disappointed in these niggas. I am disappointed in these niggas. We lie to avoid accountability and responsibility, just like the women do. If you gonna hold them to task for lying, you got to hold yourself to task for lying. It ain't a white lie when we lie and a black lie when they lie. It's the same goddamn lie. We do the same thing they do for the same reason they do it, man. That's it.
Okay, Brock. Brock. I beg you, please retaliate afterwards, please, after the show.
There, there,
The
there's
ball's
there's
in your
no
court.
there's no need for retaliation. Not
Okay,
not now. I've
okay,
learned from the best of them. I've learned from the best of them. I know how to sit on things for a couple of months.
excellent, beautiful. The ball's in your
But
court. Would you like?
yes, but yes. I believe we all lie. Men and women both lie. Women lie, men lie. Numbers don't lie. Right. So I agree with Uro a lot with what he said. You just have to really limit the amount of damage that is caused with your lies, right? So, and what the lie is important as well. Lying about cheating is different than lying about when you're going to come home after
Oof.
you've been out with friends. All right, let's say you said I'm gonna be at home at 5, you get home at 5:30. All right,
Okay,
so
I
the
disagree.
lie itself, or
I
maybe
agree.
that wasn't the best example after coming after lying about cheating, but not all lies are the same.
You
So
should
again,
never
I
admit
believe
you
if you
cheated, though. You should never admit you cheated, but okay.
hot sauce, hot sauce, hot sauce. What are we doing
Go ahead.
here?
Continue, please.
Okay, all right. But yes, I'll just wrap up with that. It really depends on the lie that's being told. If it's a lie that's detrimental to the relationship, those are the lies that I'm more concerned about. But I'm personally not going to be too upset about the smaller white lie.
Okay. Truth teller, are you there? Truth teller. This
Yeah, I'm
my
here. I'm here.
okay.
I was
I need to
laughing.
repeat the question or
Please repeat the question.
okay. So we all know that women lie for convenience, for attention, for to feel good. So is it okay and do men also lie to feel good, for attention, for convenience, etc.?
No, men don't lie for those reasons. Men lie to avoid, obfuscate, or deny mental terrorism. Women
Wow.
lie to apply mental terrorism. There's
Holy
two
shit.
different perspectives. There's two different reasons for why they lie, which is why I disagree with Uru, because men lying is basically to protect themselves. Women lying is basically to get the men, and in the process, get whatever it is that they want. It'd be different if they just wanted to get their own success, but they got to have a sacrificial lamb to get it. So a dude has to suffer for a woman to get hers, right? A man can actually sleep with a whole bunch of women. He didn't marry them. He just slept with them. Nobody suffered. They got penis, right? He's not going into their bank account, marrying them, and taking half, right? He's not having babies with her and taking possession of the kids, right? The majority of men who are millionaires don't become millionaires because they married a rich chick. That's why it's different. They lie for different purposes, and women have more. Uh, how can we put it nicely? No, let's not put it nicely. They're literal evil reasons. It's all the reasons that they tell you should have good character to avoid. All of their reasons is the bad character stuff that they actually do and justify. That's why It's not the same.
Okay. Tunnel Runner, the ball is in your court. Do I need to repeat the prompt, or are you okay?
I'm okay. I'm okay, sir. Yes, sir. I'm sure. When I wake my wife up at 2:00 in the morning to cook me breakfast, she doesn't enjoy that every day. But she does it because it's her duty. I'm sure she lies to me and I lie to her. But she understands what her duties are and I understand what my duties are. And that's what we don't lie about. But other little things, sure, everybody lies.
Okay. Shark Sims, do I need to repeat, or are you good?
No,
And
I'm
welcome
good.
to the panel.
Appreciate you. I'm good on that. To an extent, well, I don't think men should lie, period, unless it's to protect somebody. And I think sometimes when the women aren't lying, and when women aren't lying for evil reasons, I think they lie to protect too. So the only time you should lie is to protect somebody. You know what I mean? Because like if she tell you that your thing is wrong, she's literally trying to protect you from, you know what I mean, feeling bad about yourself. Or if you tell her, you know, they ran out of ice cream, you're literally lying to protect her from herself. You know what I mean? So it all depends on, as long as you're doing it to protect somebody, I don't see anything wrong with a lie. But all of that other kind of lying, that's what not good for men or women. Because at the end of the day, we all adults, we're not children. So I don't think anybody gets a pass for lying.
Okay. I think Twitter dropped off, so we're down to the next round of questions. So I'm not going to ask that one because I don't want to.
Real quick, I do want to say I wasn't personally promoting anybody lying. I was just trying to give an example to answer the question that was asked of me. I wasn't promoting anybody lying. But go ahead.
All right, but gentlemen, for the people in the chat or for the younger niggas that's listening, if you cheat, it is lying is a part of it. You absolutely should lie. Okay, moving forward. Right. Okay. I am justified. For the reading first. I am justified in withholding sex because his emotional intelligence and communication are poor. I am justified. Yeah, they got Rogers here because that's definitely no matter of fact, let me change this. Yeah, okay. I am justified. No, hold on. Let me ask it this way. If I am not going to give my significant or if I'm not going to give man if I'm not going to give the man sex, he is justified in not paying the bills in the house and the school fees for children. If a man is not getting sex,
School fees.
he is justified in not paying the bills or school fees for the children. K. Marie, what say you?
Oh.
Well, there's no justification for not paying the school bill. The kids have nothing to do with that. However, fair is fair. Hell, I look at it with a clear lens. If she don't want to give it up, don't pay the bills. Let's see how independent you are. I just move differently.
No, I'm just saying, is a man right? So say for not you,
Yeah,
but
I
your
mean,
friends stop
again,
giving up the booty, and then her man stop paying bills and school fees.
why not? Eye for an eye, two for a two. Shit. So yeah,
So,
he's
so fuck
justified.
the kids
I would
too.
say
Fuck
so.
the kids too.
Huh? Say that one more
Fuck,
time.
fuck the kids too.
No, not the kids. Leave the kids out of it. The kids shouldn't
No, no,
have to.
no, no, no. But he's not. He's not. So is it justified?
I would say so. Yes.
Okay. Toya left. I would have loved to got Toya's answer on that. Okay, Roger. Go your turn. Pookie it up.
No, so
He said, you know,
wait, so you are specifically attaching the school bills with the other
Damn.
bills in the house. Is that what you're doing?
Well, that's not what I'm doing. That was what's said. That was what's said, my brother. That's what was said. I ain't
That
doing
was
nothing.
not what was said. That was not what was said.
No. Well, why, Roger? Why are you asking that question? Because that's
What?
basically what you said before. So why are you confused by that question?
I'm just trying to clarify with the kids attached to the bill. That's all.
You
Okay, okay,
I'm,
it's fine, it's fine.
no, no.
we literally debated this.
Roger, it's okay, Roger. That's the question. I didn't say who it come from. Look, that's just the question.
No,
Please.
I'm not. No, I believe if you're not having sex with the man, yeah, he's beyond justified in not paying. He's universally beyond justified in not paying. It shouldn't even be a thought in his mind.
Okay. Roger, what say you?
There it is. I had to unmute myself. Yeah. When it comes to kids, that's a whole nother story. Now he ain't justified with that. He's still obligated to his kids.
Okay, okay. Black Guru, what say you?
Well, yeah, I mean, I disagree with Roger Pookie on this issue. I think you
Roger
definitely pay your kids' school. I think you definitely pay your kids' school for sure. And I'd be interested in the women's opinion of Roger not paying the bill. Sorry to interrupt, but I'd be really interested in the ladies' opinion on that. But sorry.
The,
No, the lady said he was justified. The lady
the,
said he
yeah,
was
the question is justified. Yes,
I
he's more than justified.
the lady
Yeah.
said he was justified. K. Marie said it.
So
Troy
he,
no,
Glass.
he,
he's justified
he
not
so
paying the
she
bills,
just
not the
okay.
children. Leave the kids out.
No.
Yeah.
But
So she said
he's
you're
not
not.
leaving the kids out. So what say
No, no,
you? He's
no.
not.
No,
The way you asked the question, you made it where there was no choice to leave the kids. That's what
Right.
I asked
Exactly.
you.
Yeah.
yeah, the
Yeah,
kids
yeah,
are
that's what I'm saying. So
doing
I'm
that.
asking you. He's not going to leave the kids out. He is definitely not going to pay school fees for kids. Is he justified?
I got to pay all the bills or no bills. Is what he's saying.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah, that's what he said.
well, there's consequences with that. Let's just say that.
Okay, so there you go, Uru. Okay, Black Reset. We'll see. I mean, I'm sorry. Yeah, Black Reset. What say you?
Uh, man, not attacking anybody. I'm not attacking anybody or their answers up here. But I want to remind you that in general, ladies don't think past their nose, man. They don't. They don't think long term like we do. That's why we're the leaders. You can't do this. You have to, especially if you're married. If you're married, you pay the bills because you structured their life that way and the children are included. Damn that woman. Sometimes you're going to benefit the woman to benefit your children. Damn her. And whether she benefits or not. You continue it until you can structure something else better.
Okay. I believe it's Brock's turn. Brock, what say you?
Okay. I'm going to say that you are 100% justified in your reasons personally. So if you decide to do that as a man because your wife has decided to shut down sex, then yeah, I mean your reasons for doing what you're doing are justified. However, that being said, the consequences of that decision will be different in the modern world. If you decide to shut or to stop paying the bills because your wife decided to shut down the sex, you're probably already in a situation where there's a divorce on the way. All right. And how the actual legal system looks at it, it's going to be separate from how you personally look at it. So
I,
you can
I,
be justified in your own reasoning for not paying the bills, but you still have the court's perspective included in that. And you have to account for that. You have to account for that. When you stop paying the bills, you're essentially sabotaging the family home. All right, so that's going to look bad on you in the family court system, which is already looking for reasons, especially that you're a black man, to throw the book at you. If there is a child support order, you're already in child support arrears because you stopped paying everything for the kids. Remember, and that's accruing interest. All right,
okay.
so
Uh,
so you have to consider all of the added costs of
good point.
doing this.
Okay. Truth teller, are you there?
Y'all ain't gonna want to hear what I'm about to say, man.
We want to hear it.
Just so y'all understand, everybody but one person that spoke so far, and the lady, respected the leadership of a man of his household. I just want to point that out. Now, we always point out how women are delusional, but every single one of y'all had a caveat behind saying, yeah, it's justified, but, and then y'all niggas threw in some delusional stuff that ain't got nothing to do with his decision. They're together. There's no child support there, right? So that didn't have anything to do with the scenario that was played out. If he doesn't pay the bills and the kid can't go to private school no more, he's going to public school because that's law. If he's not buying the stuff in the house for the woman, she's going to suffer. That's what happens. Basically, nobody respected the man's decision on how he runs his household. Yet everybody was cool with saying, well, nigga, if you do that, you're supposed to suffer some consequences. Well, he's already suffering the consequences. He's the person responsible for that family. All the consequences are his. So yes, he's justified, and he should follow through because if I heard correctly, all of y'all was saying the rule needs to be set from the beginning. And suddenly, when it's time to enforce the rule, well, maybe we shouldn't enforce it because I don't like y'all niggas when y'all do that, man. That is not cool, man. We look so phony on these panels when we start doing that in the same conversation. It's weird.
Okay. Tunnel Runner, what say you?
Yes, sir. There are places in the world where if that woman wants to walk away and not give her man any sex, the kids go with the father, and the father educates the children. It's only the courts that change up the situation. If men are dealing with men, those kids go with the man, and he takes care of the children's schooling.
Okay, Shark Sims.
I might have to agree with Tunnel Runner on this one. I'm gonna be short-winded. Yeah, I agree with everything. I'm not Tunnel Runner. Truth Teller said. We looking real crazy with the wishy-washy stuff. You know what I mean? You signed up for it. You signed up for it.
Okay, our next question.
Hold fast. We got a super chat by Bruce Owen Wayne. He says, "Read my hot message, Roger." He has a message right behind it saying, "Ladies, stop lying, but loving hot sauce on your buns."
Jesus Christ.
I don't know what that's supposed to mean. I understood the one between them two. Well,
Yeah, I'm lost on
I
that
don't
one.
get that one.
Bro, man, this dude. Look, man,
Crazy.
I'm starting to
That
feel
man
something,
crazy.
Roger. I'm
What
starting to
does it
feel
mean?
salty. I'm starting to feel salty here. Because this is going above and beyond, bro. Like, wow.
All right, let's keep the war between the
Prison
two
shower
gentlemen. How
time.
about that?
The prison,
How about that? Let's
Yeah.
just keep the war between the two
man,
gentlemen. Let's
I
not
mean,
the
involve the
he
prison.
can
ladies.
take shots, but why they gotta be so suspect? God damn.
Well,
Don't drop the soap, hot sauce. Don't drop the soap, player.
yeah, let's just officially leave the ladies out of it and keep it between you two. Let's keep
Yeah,
it between
fine,
you two.
fine. So, okay, so my next question would be next question, ladies. Um, if okay, it is okay for him to seek pleasure from outside when, please finish the sentence. It is okay for him to seek
Wow.
sexual pleasure outside of the household when, okay, Marie?
When I'm no longer serving. Let's be real. If I stop doing all of my duties and he chooses to get it outside, it is what it is, right?
I need a little bit more context. What do you mean by duties and things like that?
So, sorry, multitasking here. Anyway, I mean, if let's just say, let's just keep it simple. If I stop giving him what he requires me to provide within this relationship, then by all means, if you feel like another woman can give you that, let's just have the conversation so you can get out of the way, I can get out of your way. What's the point of?
No, you can't leave him. You can't. I'm sorry.
Ah,
Okay.
So I
ah,
can't leave.
I'm sorry. Because come on.
Well,
ah.
It's okay. Please,
so
please, composure, everyone.
so you said
Composure,
I can't
everyone.
leave him.
Composure. Let me. I'm sorry. I didn't clearly state the question. Okay, it's okay for him to seek sexual pleasure outside, and I'm not going to leave him when. Okay, Michelle, please finish that statement.
Yeah, nah, that one. Let me stew on that one. I'll come
What?
back to that one.
Okay, you need time? Okay, Roger.
Yeah, say that one more time just to make sure I'm getting this
It
right.
is okay to seek sexual pleasure outside, and she's not going to leave when. Please finish that statement.
And she's not gonna leave.
Yeah.
She's not gonna leave tomorrow because it takes at least 30 days to kick her out officially.
Bruh, I'm just saying you can have her plus your okay, bro. I'm saying you
Uh,
she says okay that you can seek outside loving when she's no longer doing this, but you're still going to remain together.
we gonna remain together, but I have to go get outside loving. So I gotta pay her bills, but she don't want to give me no loving. So
Or
so not
you free to leave. Yeah, you're free to okay, Roger, you're free
no
to
no
leave.
let's put her out. Let's put her out. I'm trying to
Okay, I'll put her out. Okay.
yeah I'm trying to
Okay,
calculate this.
let me reverse it. Okay, for niggas. When I'm gonna put her out when, Roger, there you go.
Okay, yeah, because I'm just trying to see based on what you're saying, we're trying to get me to pay for a woman that won't have sex with me. That's what we're saying, right? We want my money to
I'm
go
gonna put her out when.
as early as possible.
No, when what? When what? You guys explain what? I'm gonna put her out when.
The moment that I understand that she refuses not to give me any, we're going to start the process to getting her put out.
Okay, very good. Inspired truth. I'm gonna put her out when.
We just kind of like changed this whole scenario. I was still on this whole, okay, when is it cool for me to get like another chick? If we ain't married, then yeah, we getting another chick. Like it's
Yeah.
like it's going down like that. If we married, it's a
Well,
whole
someone
other
wants to be
story.
ultra difficult, so either or. You're free to answer either or both.
All right, so my answer is like when we ain't married, I guess.
Okay. Great reset. Are you there? Great reset.
Well, we're pausing on great. Well, we're
Black woman.
pausing on great reset. Let me say shout out to Bruce on Wayne. He said, "I'm a suspect. I don't play victim." Okay.
I'm I'm here.
Just
I'm
And I
here.
guess
taking shots.
I
No.
guess it
Taking
took me too
shots.
long to say it because he also said read my message, right? So I guess it took me too long to read that other message.
Um,
Black crew. It's Black
is
woman.
is Uru is
It's Black.
Uru here?
Yeah, Black
Yeah,
woman.
yeah.
Uh,
Yeah.
so it's up to you. I'm gonna kick her out when, or it's okay for me to cheat when, but she don't leave.
When I feel like it.
Okay. There you go for both. Okay, there you go, Black reset.
Oh, man, listen. This question exposes the hypocrisy of women. Uru has it absolutely right. I'm a man. When I feel like getting some, I'm gonna get some because I'm a man and I make that decision for me.
Okay. Who's next? Who's next? Brock.
I'm gonna say on my end, I'm in a barbershop chair. But
Be careful, sir. Be careful, sir.
me personally, that's going to depend on what I'm getting from my woman.
If it's no issue there, I can give you monogamy. But if there is an issue there, I can't do it. So
Okay, truth teller. What's he gonna expect that nigga to tell the truth anyway?
When my knee injury act up and I ain't never hurt my knee before. That's when.
Okay. All right, tunnel runner.
Yeah, when she breaks the social contract, then I can do what I got to do. I'm gonna do what I got to do.
All right, and Shark Sims.
As soon as she start getting on my goddamn nerves.
You're a little bit low, Shark.
As soon as she get on my nerves.
Okay. All right, so okay, here we go. Okay. In the mating situations, dating, marriage, fiance, whatever. Who how has social media played the part? Has social media played the part in relationships? Has social media made relationships harder or easier? And I'll start with K. Marie.
I can't really answer that one. I don't do a lot of social media.
Okay.
I don't exude my energy in that way.
Okay. Actually, yeah, I'll change that because everybody here is kind of old, so I'll change that.
I have an answer.
Okay, go ahead if you got an answer.
Yeah, it's changed relationships because men are far more informed than what they used to be in yesteryear. The behavior has been the same to a certain degree. Now men are more informed about the behavior. So that, of course, creates changes because now you have new information for the men. The women been doing what they've been doing. They may not have been doing it as frequently, but the information is coming out about what the women are doing. So therefore, how men are going to deal with a relationship, they're making adjustments because for most of them, it's new information coming to the forefront.
Okay. Inspired Truth, what say you?
Well, I kind of roll with the young chicks, so yeah, it absolutely makes a big difference. But I think it's kind of like all media in all cases because um, women kind of like follow other women and they go and run with a whole lot of cliches. That whole "oh, happy wife, happy life," and "oh, I can do by it all by myself," or "oh, hey, you can't take me at my worst, you only deserve me at my best," and all of those terrible, negative, like exploitative
Slogans.
cliches. Yeah, slogans.
Okay, Black Guru, what say you? Black Guru, going once, going twice. Okay, Black Reset, and then I'll go back to Black Guru after you.
I'd say it's actually made relationships better, um, depending on how you look at it, because you have all the information available to you to understand what you're walking into. So you're no longer going into these blind for men. You're understanding what you're going into. You're able to kind of set your boundaries earlier and understand what's going on earlier and enter and exit relationships in a timely fashion because of the information given. So I'd say it's better.
Okay. So, listen, gentlemen, we have 2 minutes before 3, and I'm a prompt person. We end at 3. So, what we're going to do, I'm going to ask Black Guru for his answer, and then we're going to start taking closing statements. So, Black Guru, are you there?
Yeah, I'm here. Sorry.
Okay, so let's do.
I think I agree. Do you hear me?
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
Yes,
we
sir.
hear you.
Do you hear me? Oh,
Yes,
yes.
okay.
Yes.
I think I agree with Reset that it has made things worse. It's been a kind of a medication, if you will, maybe even to some degree radiation or chemotherapy, in the sense that it's provoked a level of honesty, painful, sometimes even damaging honesty amongst us. It's brought things to light that we have kept hidden. Now, a lot of it somewhat exaggerated and is being done for effect. But I think when you put it all together, it's done more good than harm. the short-term effects of it has been harmful. But if certain things are being exposed, being, so like a vampire, the sunlight exposure on vampires, a lot of vampires are getting killed with the sunlight of social media, fortunately or unfortunately. So I think on balance has been a good thing.
Okay. All right, gentlemen, ladies, we're going to take closing statements. So first, I'll go with Kate Marie as ladies first. Would you like to give a closing statement?
No, I don't. I didn't have the full context of today's show, so I'm just gonna sit back.
Okay. Okay, Bronk. Uh, Now let's go with I guess. Well, Roger will close the show out. I guess Black Guru, if you wanna, lead us off.
Is Inspired still here or whatever? I was
Or
just kind of
okay,
following
Inspire,
the.
you wanna lead us
Okay,
off?
yeah.
Yeah, sure. I'll go ahead and I'll do it. I think that there's a lot of misconceptions going around. The fact is that we really do want to have conversations. We really do want to know things. That's why when we get a lady on the panel, we asked her 1,001 questions on this panel because we actually do want to be able to work together and be productive and build something with each other. And I think that if we can just get past all of these other mitigating factors, all of these frictions, all of these inefficiencies, then we can run like a smoothly oiled machine and actually make progress.
Okay. Black Guru.
Yeah, I think I have a more maybe pessimistic and cynical view of things than maybe Inspired, although I appreciate the sentiment behind it. I don't, if you cannot punish someone, a party in any sort of negotiation for a violation of the terms of an agreement, then you effectively can have no agreement. And that's essentially what I see amongst discussions between black men and black women. Very one-sided. Too much of the responsibility of being honest and forthright and making real material investment is on the side of men, and little to any is weighted on the women. And so, for that reason, unless that dynamic is changed, there's some real accountability and even some punitive action when women violate the trust and integrity of discussions and negotiations and partnering. Unless you have that, then these conversations are going to be pretty much fruitless. They may be entertaining, they may be good for super chats and clicks and likes and views, but ultimately they will be useless.
Okay. Great Reset. Your closing remarks, please.
Um, yes, I'd like to say, ladies, I'm on a campaign to say, let us save you from yourselves. You don't know how much damage you're doing to yourselves with the use of social media. Men are willing to have conversations with you, um, but it's got to be in good faith. And you ladies need saving in general from yourselves. And I'll close with that.
Okay. Next would be Bronk, right? If he's in the barbershop. Bronk, are you able to talk?
Yeah, yeah. I'll chime in. I'm wrapping up on a haircut.
Uh, just close your remarks. Okay. Anyway, truth teller, go ahead.
Honestly, I think just our focus is incorrect, right? Because all we're talking about is trying to change the women. And I keep reiterating it has nothing to do with them. But it's the men have to change. And we are slowly changing, but we still got this delusional fairy tale ideology going on that we can help save them, or they're really princesses, they just don't realize it, and blah 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 blah. Listen, man, if she don't fit your bill, You do what you do with her, and you keep it moving, man. Whatever you decide is up to you. There's no reason for you to try to take into account her feelings, her emotions, none of that stuff. You just have to make sure you protect yourself because she has the law in her favor. And you have to make sure you protect your image because she does have the slight social control. But if you approach things understanding that they are not what the storybooks tell you, you should be fine. It's just that simple, man. Change your plan of action and how you approach these things, and you'll be successful. It is what it is.
All right, let me interrupt real quick because he sent to Bruce on Wayne sent a super chat again saying read his stuff, Roger. He say have a chicken with pork fries half chicken with pork fried rice, soy sauce, and hot sauce on the side. Okay, so I guess now it's starting to get subliminal.
I really want you to come up and explain this.
Yeah,
I'm trying to understand.
It's subliminal at this point because I'm not understanding either.
I really want to understand.
Next we have Tunnel Runner.
Yes, my brothers. I am somewhat controlled, so I manage my social media. You should be in control of everything. Her friends, as much as you can, because you can only do so much in America. But try to be in control of everything so that she doesn't have anything to complain about because you are in control. And so you lead and she will follow, hopefully. And protect yourself at all times.
Okay, Sims, your final statement?
Yeah, the social media thing is a real hindrance to the development of dating in the American culture, period. There's no way around it. You have access to too much stuff, and as soon as we started having access to too much stuff, everything went crazy. Everything went crazy. So I definitely think if we could have an EMP drop and we can be on our phone socializing like we do now, and looking at all kinds of different propaganda, because that's the main thing social media does bring into our world. There's a lot of propaganda, and it seems like people can't decipher propaganda from real stuff. So I think it's very detrimental to dating period, white, black, Puerto Rican, everybody.
Okay.
Now it goes out with that. Appreciate you.
Okay, cool. All right, Roger. You want to take us out?
All right. First of all, I'm gonna say thank you to Inspire Truth Broadcast for this great topic to be discussed. I think it was a great topic. I'm gonna say shout out to him for no good, but doing a great job hosting the show. Well, facilitating the show. I think he did a fantastic job. Real talk, real talk. I ain't gonna never say he better than me, but I'm gonna say he did a fantastic job, and I do mean that. Okay. Thank you to the ladies that came, especially. You know, say it was good to get some insight from y'all, even if it was limited. It was still some good stuff said. It definitely gonna be used in the future. So I do appreciate that. Y'all, if y'all haven't subscribed to the channel already, what you waiting on? Subscribe. We do this Monday through Friday, 9 a.m. Chicago time. You may be somewhere else. 9 a.m. Chicago time. Okay. Subscribe to the channel. We get the best stuff over here. You ain't gonna find a better channel on social media than right over here, and that's just real talk. Okay. To my participants, thank you for your honesty. Thank you for a real representation of what you actually think, feel, consider, all that good stuff. Because I do believe conversations like these are definitely needed, and I hope everyone will be here when we have some more, because we definitely gonna have some more. So I'm gonna wish all y'all a grand weekend. Have a grand weekend. Take care of yourselves. Stay healthy. Have fun. Remember, you are supposed to enjoy life at some point. Okay, don't work too hard that you don't enjoy your life no more. Don't be in a relationship that does not bring you any pleasure. You should get some pleasure of working together, accomplishing things, and that's real talk. Y'all have a great rest of y'all day. Long live the habitual line steppers. I'm Roger. I'm right. And I'm out.